both teams coming off a short week, and that's what you get when teams come off a short week, or Dallas took the Titans a little bit too lightly, or the Titans just gave all they could give, which I think all three are.
They're all kind of true.
They're all kind of true to me. I think, Dallas walked in thinking that the Titans were just going to roll over and allow them to, do whatever they want, run the ball, pass the ball, do whatever. I think the Titans came in and played an extremely hard physical game. And I think Thursday nights, those games are just so unpredictable in a sense of you can have two really good teams that play poorly, and then you can have two teams that haven't been doing well, and all of a sudden they just pick up their game. I think the Titans, from a defensive standpoint, picked up their game. Joshua Dobbs surprised me, and because I didn't think he was going to be able to do some of the things that he did, but he was. He was a guy that you can see the difference, Caroline, in a rookie and a veteran.
Yep.
A rookie is hesitant a lot, don't want to make mistakes, especially once the coaches start getting in your ear, telling you things, telling you where to throw the ball, telling you where not to throw the ball. You become a little gun shy. I don't care. The best of them do it. And then you see a veteran that has been in the league 6 years, and he doesn't. You can't tell him where not to throw the ball. He's going to take chances. He's going to do things that a younger exactly. He's going to do things that a younger quarterback is just not going to do. He showed a lot of confidence, even in the interceptions and the fumbles. Because he didn't play, it wasn't like he was flawless.
No.
He had some things that he needed to work on. But
any of us expected Josh Dobbs to come out there and be flawless.
Absolutely. But you can see, even in all of that, the confidence he had to still go out there and deliver the ball and take the shots from the defense. So, he played better than what I expected under that circumstance.
100% agree with you. And that's kind of where I want to start here is I understand the Titans just lost their 6th game in a row. And if you would have told me preseason that, hey, the Titans are going to lose 6 games in a row at the end of the season, I would think, oh, my goodness, what a freaking, just a burn up of this team of epic proportions. But even though the Titans lost 27-13 against the Dallas Cowboys last night, even though they lost their 6th game in a row, I think that you can walk away from this game and say that was a moral victory for the Titans. And I'm not really somebody who necessarily believes in a lot of moral victories, but I looked at that game last night and I can walk away feeling more confident about the Tennessee Titans because I think the Tennessee Titans have found their solution for next week at quarterback. I think that if you watch that game, you can walk away and say, wow, I feel a whole lot better about this team because Josh Dobbs gives this team so much better of an opportunity to win the division, to beat the Jags in Week 18 than Malik Willis does. Because you mentioned it. It's the decidedness.
Yeah.
And it's the sure of himself-ness.
Exactly.
Of he's making kind of these contested throws. And he's making, I say risky, not in a bad risky, but I say risky in throws that need to be made when the ball needs to come out and you need to throw the ball because you're down 2 touchdowns. And Josh Dobbs makes those throws and can complete those throws. And those just aren't things that Malik Willis can do. I mean, Josh Dobbs, 20 of 39, attempted 39 passes last night.
Yeah, almost 40.
If Malik Willis attempts 40 passes, I would faint.
I think everybody would have fainted.
Everyone would faint. But 232 yards, that's way more than I think Malik Willis has ever been capable of since he's put on a Titans uniform. So I can walk away from this game, and as much as I can call people who call games moral victories, even when you do lose and your 6th loss in a row, I could say that's just loser talk. But I walk away from this game feeling so much better, and it is 100% completely because of Josh Dobbs. And like you said, D Mace, he wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Lost a fumble, threw a dumb interception. He's not gonna be perfect, but it's just his ability that gives you the Titans so much of a better opportunity to win.
I think because of his decisiveness, and he's been in other offenses, and he's been coached by other coaches. So he's just looking to – he has nothing to lose in this situation. He's looking to just help this Tennessee Titan offense seem or look more like an NFL offense. And last night, they did. They looked a little bit more, not a little bit, hell, they look a lot better than what they have with Malik Willis. And frankly, what they have in the last really 4 or 5 weeks. Last night was, other than the Green Bay game, last night might have been the best this offense has looked in 5 weeks. I know they had their turnovers. I know that, the run game really didn't get going the way they wanted it to. But from a passing standpoint, and I got to say this, we need some new pass catchers. We do. Robert Woods caught a touchdown. Yeah, he made some good catches, but he was dropping easy passes.
I'm done with Robert Woods.
It's just Joshua Dobbs could have had at least three more completions added on to what he finished with. But he had drop balls. You can't have those drop balls. Balls that hit you in the hand, that hit you in the chest, whether it's Traylon Burks, Robert Woods, Austin Hooper. Y'all got to catch those passes. Those were not difficult passes to catch. You got to catch them. So his stat line could have been a little bit better. Not to say that would have won him the game, because I don't think it would have. I think what Dallas did allowed the Titans to stay in the game. Those interceptions on Dak Prescott, they just Dallased all over themselves, but they were fortunate enough to win because the Titans are not a good team. Their roster is not good at this point. But they got to make those catches. Joshua, you gotta give this young man some confidence. You got to allow his confidence to continue to grow. He's 8 days in. He comes out. He learns his offense. He runs this offense the way a veteran should run it. And as veteran receivers, you can't drop passes that he's throwing to you. Again, these are not difficult passes. They hit you in the hands. Nobody around. Within a half a yard of you. That's open in the NFL, a half a yard. Hell, a half a step is open in this league. When you have an opportunity to catch the ball and extend drives, you got to do it. Okay? Now, Woods caught a touchdown, which was great. Chig made some plays. Austin Hooper had some really good catches. But as a whole, I think this unit at times let Joshua Dobbs down. Okay? The offensive line, they were up and down, and we expected that of them. They were up and down.
You've got a bunch of backups.
Exactly. So, but I think for the most part, they held their own against a defensive front that's pretty good.
And Josh Dobbs is an elusive quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He's faster than what I thought because I don't follow Joshua Dobbs. The last time I saw, Joshua Dobbs in a complete game, not just coming in and feeling, he was wearing orange and white. And I'm sure, he was getting outside the pocket and running when he was at UT. But you didn't see much of that because he didn't play much in the NFL. But you saw the ability of him to get outside the pocket, to continue to look down the field. He made some really good throws. He made some bad throws. He made some really good checks to get him out of certain plays. He ran the offense the way that a backup quarterback should run it. Now the question is that, one, Downey, why are you so inconsistent at play calling? I just don't get this. 1 week you go 5 weeks and you look horrible, then you look great. And you can't blame it on, it was a rookie quarterback. Well, you only had a rookie quarterback last week. Weeks before that, you had Ryan Tannehill, and his offense looked inept. But last night, for some reason, this offense looked like an NFL offense. You used the talent that you have in the right way. You got Dobbs outside the pocket, rolling him out, getting him on the move, short passes, play action. Those are the things that you do with quarterbacks. I don't know what the hell you've been doing the last 5 weeks. That's why you need to go. Seriously, you need to, because you're so inconsistent as a play caller. Last night was a good game plan.
I still struggle with it. I think it was a good game plan because I think the Titans were so limited in what they could do with a quarterback that they probably didn't have a great idea of exactly what he could do, but had a fine enough idea of, okay, Josh Dobbs has a better arm and gives us more of an opportunity to throw the ball than Malik Willis does, while still adding in his feet as an element. But, there's still, 3rd and long, and you're throwing, check down slants to the tight end. Why? Why are you doing that? You're not going to pick up a first down doing that. So I think this was a better called game for Todd Downing than it has been in the past, but there are still just boneheaded decisions and common sense plays that aren't being called. Like instances where I'm like, what? Like everyone at home is thinking, why are you running the ball here? Why are you throwing the ball here? Why aren't you at least, throwing the ball downfield and it's a short little check down pass when you need to pick up 25 yards? I think there's little things like that, little caveats with Todd Downing. But I think the biggest story of the day here, Josh Dobbs last night proved that he gives this team the best opportunity to win in Week 18, which is a must-win game. So where did the Titans go from there at the quarterback position? That's what I want to get into coming up next. Plus, it's your day. We'll get into your phones, your calls, your texts, your thoughts. The Titans lost to the Cowboys last night. Your thoughts on Josh Dobbs. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll get right into your phones. Chase, Willie, and D Mace presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life, creating custom hair loss solutions for men and women. 1025-1063 The Game.
185! Every team needs a quarterback. 185! That's why we have
Hasselbeck, bootleg, rollout, toss, touchdown!
Tim. ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck gives his expertise on all things NFL.
How that team is built, I think there's a lot to like about them.
Every Tuesday at noon, Tim with Chase, Willie, and D Mace. Presented by Red Spirit and Wine in Bellevue on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Chevrolet Buick GMC. I love this time of year. Christmas music, big meals, and maybe even a little snow. There's just something in the air. I don't know about you guys, but I have my leg lamp in the window and my moose glass for eggnog. I'm ready to kick off these holidays right. At Newton, we want to help you kick off the holidays right by helping spread the holiday spirit. And trust me, we have a lot of holiday spirit. We love helping customers find ways to surprise their loved ones with a new car. Can you imagine the look in their face Christmas morning? And if you aren't sure you're on the good list, we can put in a good word with a big guy. Don't be a Scrooge. Change your car buying experience in Newton and find out how we can help you start off the holidays with a new car. We have more new cars in stock right now than we've had any time in the past year. It's like a Christmas miracle. Kind of. Shop at NewtonChevroletBuickGMC.com to find your next car today.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe, and in the past, hair loss was inevitable, but now you have a choice for thicker, fuller hair. Trust the experts with 45 years of experience at Hair Club. They've helped more than 500,000 clients love their hair again. No matter your age, stage of hair loss, or budget, Hair Club can customize a solution for you. And for a limited time, you can get 10% off when you book a free consultation today at hairclub.com/chase. That's hairclub.com/chase.
Hey, let's get brunch. How long is the wait?
Tired of the same old brunch spots? 2 words, bottomless brunch. That's right, Almost Friday is the newest sporting club in downtown Nashville, and they're ready to help you elevate your weekend. All you can eat and drink while you watch the game, play flip cup, pong, or other games, and turn it up with their DJs. There's no other place in Nashville like it. If it's not Friday, it's Almost Friday. Reserve your table now at almostfridaynash.com. It's always Almost Friday at Almost Friday Sporting Club.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you a fan of Twin Peaks? Sign up for their e-club to stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just visit twinpeaksrestaurant.com/peaks-club to get started today.
Treat yourself to the gifts you really wanted at the Electronic Express Huge After Christmas Sale. Our convenient locations have great deals on all of your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, Apple, Sony, and more. Electronic Express has huge savings in every department. 4K TVs, computers, appliances, housewares, gaming, and more. Save up to 40% with up to 48 months free financing. Shop in-store or online and get free express delivery on most items. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
It's on, it's happening. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter.
Get out of the way, I'm watching the game.
Presented by the law offices of Amanda Gentry.
I'm ready to step this up a notch.
You're listening to Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app.
You had 3 pass plays of over 30 yards. And that's something that hasn't been a part of your your offense the last couple.
No, man, I thought we protected well. You know what I mean? It threw it out the course of the game. You know what I mean? There were times where, when it was obviously passing downs. But I thought there was times for Josh to progress through and move the ball downfield. I think Traylon got held. I think his left arm got grabbed. Same guy that called Paul's, 50-yard pass interference penalty. Didn't see it the same way on our sidelines. I don't know what to tell you. But I thought, there were opportunities where we could have helped, Josh out as well. And we couldn't come down with a catch. But there was also other times where we made plays down the field and, hit the screen versus pressure and all those things. I thought, Hassan had one of the better runs of the year on 4th and 2. Ran over a really good player and fell forward for a first down.
There you go. That was Mike Vrabel post-game yesterday breaking down Josh Dobbs' performance. And look, I said I step away from this Titans loss feeling so much better about this team than I have in the last 6 losses. Because we have a glimmer of hope. And that hope is named Josh Dobbs. Mm-hmm. That, when Ryan Tannehill went down with injury, Malik Willis came in. I was watching Malik Willis, and I said, I just don't see any path to victory for this team as long as Malik Willis is under center. Mm-hmm. And as long as Derrick Henry isn't out there or isn't 100%, or as long as this offense isn't completely being carried by everyone else other than Malik Willis. And I feel so much more confident about this Titans team going into Week 18 in a must-win game against the Jags because I think Josh Dobbs gives them that much more of an opportunity to win. And I think that he gives them a better opportunity to win. And I think that he is so much better of an option for the Titans at quarterback for 3 reasons. And D Mace, you and I were kind of talking about this at the break. First and foremost, I think the most obvious thing that I noticed, and probably you all noticed too, within the first 5 minutes of the game, that Josh Dobbs gives you so much more of a threat in the passing game. That he is so much better of a throwing ability than Malik Willis.
He's more decisive.
And that's the second thing, is he's so much more decisive. And the third thing is he can read defenses so much better than Malik Willis can. And I saw it from Josh Dobbs that he was making his progressions, going through his progressions. And sometimes when Malik Willis doesn't have read number 1 or read number 2 there, I feel like there's a sense of panic that Malik has in the pocket where he just either runs off with it or he makes a dumb decision, that he throws a ball where it shouldn't go and it gets intercepted. Or he throws the ball away on 3rd down. Or he gets an intentional grounding call on 3rd down. And I see with Josh Dobbs that he has the decisiveness to be able to, okay, I'm not going to panic. My first 3 reads aren't there. I'll know where to go from there. Either I run it out of bounds, or throw it away. And I think that the throwing ability adds so much more of another element and layer to this Titans offense that Malik Willis just can't bring. When opposing defenses see Malik Willis, like, okay, well, we know that the deep ball's not going to be there. So we can just bring all of our guys up front, try to, 1, stop the run, or just bat a pass down, 5 yards downfield. But Josh Dobbs has that arm and the throwing ability and the ability to read defenses that Malik just hasn't shown that he has.
Yeah, Malik, from a deep ball perspective, I think he just – and it's weird to sort of say because people are like, what, isn't that what he's supposed to do? I think he throws the ball deep just to be throwing it deep. In the sense of, I got to throw it deep. This is what they're telling me to do, so I'm throwing it deep. Whereas Joshua Dobbs at least in this game, I'm only going by this game. I'm not talking about the 5 minutes he played in Pittsburgh or the 1 minute he played in Detroit or some other places. I'm talking about what I seen last night. He throws the deep ball with purpose. He throws it like, I'm throwing it so it can be a completion to this guy. The deep ball he threw to Racey McMath read the defense perfectly. The safety was playing his little game in there, and all of a sudden they go from a shell coverage or cover 2, cover 4. All of a sudden they roll down and make it cover 3. Safety comes down the box to try to cut anything that's coming across the middle of the field, and then the backside safety rolls over to the top. He read it perfectly. Receiver ran a good route. He put it right in between the safety and the corner. Only the receiver could get it. Really good pass. More than that, really good read by a veteran guy that the Tennessee Titans are going to need this upcoming week. They're going to need him to continue to make plays like that. Downey's going to have to continue to call plays like that. Racey McMath is going to have to continue to make big plays. And it's crazy that I'm saying Racey McMath because he just got back in the lineup, and now we're expecting him to be that deep ball guy.
Well, now your offense depend, or at least on Thursday night, assuming Derrick Henry comes back, Thursday night their offense depended on Austin Hooper, Racey McMath, and Josh Dobbs, which is a pretty bleak outlook.
Yeah, but they came through.
The
they came through. Now, can they make it 2 games in a row? Can you now go in when team has tape of you and team can seriously break you down? Can you now do some of the same things that you did in his prior game? I hope he can. I think he can. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult. He'll have Derrick Henry back, some other guys back, but I think it still will be difficult. But what Joshua Dobbs showed me is that he's more than capable of learning, whatever offense they're going to give him. He has the poise of a veteran guy. He's not perfect, and I'm not saying he's, a top 32 quarterback in the league.
Backup.
Yeah, he's a backup, but he's the backup that you want. A backup that can come in and potentially win you one game. That's all you need him to do. Win you one game, and then you go back to your starter. If indeed that's the case. If indeed Ryan Tannehill can come back. I know he's on IR, and they're hoping he can come back right before the playoffs. But the likelihood
of that, he won't be able to come back until AFC Championship game.
So they're not going to even if they make it to the playoffs, they're not going to have him until potentially an AFC Championship game, which we don't believe they're going to get that far, even if they get into the playoffs. But, again, Joshua Dobbs gives you the confidence as a play caller to say, okay, these are some plays that I can call that I kind of held back. Now I can call them because I feel more comfortable with the quarterback underneath center. And the guys around him just has to help him. Austin Hooper, you got to come up with a catch, that you dropped yesterday. You're going to have to come up with that catch against Jacksonville.
Robert Woods,
you're going to have to come up with those catches.
Traylon
Burks on third down, when that ball hits you in the arms on a crucial third down, you got to catch that, young man. You've made some big plays. You've made some really good plays, Traylon Burks. But that play you got to make. That's what's going to separate you from being a okay receiver to potentially being that number one guy. It's making catches, routine catches like that. You can make the catches, the hard catches. We've seen that. Now you got to make the routine catches. So those guys got to help Joshua Dobbs moving forward. This game, they helped him at some points, but those drops that they had, they can't have those against Jacksonville and expect. Because Dallas on themselves. And if the Titans had a better roster, they probably would have beat Dallas. Because Dallas is just, for whatever reason, I don't know what Cowboy fans think every year, but this team is like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There was no way that the Titans should have been that close. But they allowed it, and 2, the Titans played their asses off.
Right. And they did. And I expected this game, and I said it so many times yesterday, I expected this game to be an absolute blowout.
Oh, I called it 41-3. I said they were going to lose 41-3.
Ian said 40-7, and I said, honestly, I don't disagree. I do not disagree in the slightest. But to the point about the roster, I mean, the Titans have legitimate starting players on this team, some of the top players in the league. I look at Jeffrey Simmons, one of the top defensive linemen in the league. I look at Derrick Henry, the best running back in the league. This roster is comprised of good players. It's just the injuries that have completely thrown a wrench in this team's season. That, when you lose 2 of your top pass rushers and you lose your top running back and your starting quarterback and your first round pick number 1 wide receiver is in and out of the lineup, there's just not really much that you can do. So all of the odds were stacked up against the Titans for injuries yesterday against the Cowboys. And I think that's where the moral victory comes, is everyone, Vegas, me, you, probably everyone in this city was expecting the Titans to get completely embarrassed last night. And they didn't.
It was the Mike Vrabel special, guys. Don't you guys think so?
No.
Mike Vrabel special means win.
Well,
he
had to work with what he had, though, right?
Vrabel special is you win a game that you're not supposed to win.
Exactly.
And you lose a game that you're not supposed to lose. It's a double-edged sword. But I do think that there were some things last night that you can be encouraged about. And the number one thing is Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, you could be encouraged by it. Everyone else, and I know why you can look at this as a moral victory because they look better than what they have in the previous weeks. I get that. But, frankly, moral wins and victories mean in sports, it doesn't mean anything. You lost or you win.
But when you're on a 6-game losing streak, you will take anything.
It makes you sort of feel, in a sense, like, okay, we still sort of got this, where it needs to be or close to where it needs to be. But once you walk in that locker room, we're still a losing team. Our record indicates, and it will indicate no matter what, we are a losing team. We got a losing record. That don't sit well with players like Kevin Byard. And that's one guy that I'm going to talk about consistently this whole show. Because to me, he's their version of Eddie George. He is. Kevin Byard is their version of Eddie George Blaine Bishop. Because this guy will go out and he will battle no matter what. You're telling me that this guy goes out when everybody else is sitting and resting, and he says, no, I want to play. But then not only does he play, he plays like an all-pro.
Balls out, 2 interceptions last
balls out, like flat out. There's no doubt. Now, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to retract what I said. That's one guy they don't need to get rid of, Kevin Byard.
Yeah.
That's one guy they need to keep. They need to keep him. Okay, everybody else, yeah, you might have to cut some salaries here and there. But Kevin Byard is one guy you need to keep. Because last night showed me he's about that life. He's about the team life. He's about going out there and playing and no matter what.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We are right to your phones next segment. I promise, right to your phones. Plus, there's one thing that D Mace mentioned that I think has been an absolute killer for the Titans. And you cannot blame this one on Todd Downing. We'll get into that coming up next. Plus, your phones. Chase, Willie, D Mace, 1025, 1063, The Game.
Later today.
Duchesne, he scores! Matt Duchesne.
Your Nashville Predators hit the road to take on the Anaheim Ducks. Pre-game at 3, face-off at 4 on your home for Smashville. 1025 and 1063 The Game and The Game Nashville app.
TSA is hiring full and part-time transportation security officers at Nashville International Airport. These positions start at $20.29 per hour and include excellent federal benefits, paid on-the-job training, weekend and holiday pay, a potential pay raise after 6 months, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. No previous security experience required. Join a mission that matters and apply online at jobs.tsa.gov/TSO. That's jobs.tsa.gov/TSO. Some conditions apply.
Hal Gill here for my friends at Dunkin'. Everyone celebrates the holidays in their own special way, but you go twice as hard as everyone else. So does Dunkin', which is why they've created 2 espresso-rich holiday signature lattes. The minty, cocoa-dusted peppermint mocha and creamy cinnamon sugary toasted white chocolate lattes are handcrafted with bold espresso and topped with whipped cream to help you do the most this year. So swing by the newly remodeled Dunkin' on Bradley Parkway in Nashville or the new Dunkin' in Mount Juliet and grab one today on the double.
Signs First, Nashville's leading locally owned and operated sign and physical media company, has been supporting local community organizations for over 30 years. Signs First offers a 10% discount to all churches, nonprofits, and charities. Go to sfnash.com.
Curation CBD, a Picton company, offers high-quality, lab-tested CBD products curated for life for both you and your pet.
Hi, I'm Adam Intihar, also known as the Dog Father of Nashville. Curation 600 milligram CBD roll-on really helps me get through my training days. Applying it in the morning and again at night helps me take bites from dogs like Zulu or go on adventures with dogs like Lieutenant Dan. Curation is awesome.
Discover the full range of Curation products online at CurationCompany.com.
College football season is here. Finally, it's me, Caroline Fenton, and you already know that I am pumped up for college football season. And Southeastern Carolines, you know that 312 Pizza Company is my favorite place in town. 312 Pizza Company is a family-owned restaurant located in the heart of Germantown, serving up authentic Chicago-style eats right here in Music City. You can catch every down of the college football season at 312 Pizza Company. From week 1 to the national championship, 312 Pizza Company is your home for college football season.
Hey Nashville, TJ Anderson here. With real estate listings, you have to read between the lines, like trendy, so are man buns, or great potential, just like your ex. Must see inside. Yeah, because it's a dump outside. My team at TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty is ready to help both home buyers and sellers decode the market. Oh, and if it says open floor plan, the doors are sold separately. Google TJ Anderson Homes, read our reviews, and see why we are referred for a reason. TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty, 615-432-2919.
Looking for a career with purpose or have that passion for youth development? Boys and Girls Clubs of Middle Tennessee provides a safe place where youth gain the tools to learn, lead, and reach their full potential. And that starts with you, offering competitive pay and free after-school care for employees. Learn more at bgcmt.org.
It's a new year and a new game. Robbie and Rex Road from 6 to 9.
I don't know whether to be proud of you or to tell you to leave the room. Both would be appropriate.
Chase and Michelle from 9 to 11.
Did you look at what the other teams are doing?
That's a player I want to keep an eye on.
Caroline, Willie, and D Mace from 11 to 2.
You're the best running back in the league.
That's one you really need to win.
This is the way we were built. And Stillman and Company with Jared Stillman from 2 to 6.
Really the greatest player in the history of the team?
It's your new weekday lineup starting Monday on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, Nashville, it's Mike Greenberg, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
How about on the roughing penalties? Did those seem pretty similar, Rice's and Bland's?
You know, those are judgment calls, and I think that was bad judgment.
All right. I love a nice little lengthy response from Mike Vrabel. Okay, bad judgment. Got it. Right to your phones, as promised. Courtney is up next on Week 18. What's up, Courtney?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I just got a question about the Jacksonville game. If Jacksonville wins, they'll be 3-2, right? So in the division, they'll be 3-2 in the division. The best outcome is both teams will be 3-3, but Jacksonville got a lead on the AFC. So what determines if they win? Shouldn't they automatically be division champions if they win against Houston?
Winner of this game wins the division.
The winner of the Jacksonville game wins the division.
Yes.
But I'm saying since Jacksonville be in the lead, if they beat Houston, shouldn't they win the division?
Well, they lost to Houston.
They got the better division record.
Well, they lost to Houston, and the Titans lost to Houston, so they're both identical. So whoever wins this game ends up winning the conference, and winning the divisions, because they both have sort of similar records. They both lost to Houston once. Well, Jacksonville lost to Indianapolis, and the Titans haven't.
Titans swept the Colts.
Yep.
Lost to Houston, beat Houston, and then lost to Jacksonville. The Titans are 3-2 in the division.
Jacksonville tied Houston, didn't they? No, Indy. They tied Indy, beat Houston.
No, Houston and Indy tied.
Yeah, Houston and Indy tied. So right now they have sort of identical records, and the winner goes to the playoffs between the Titans and the Jags because their record is so similar within the division.
Yes. So
the Titans are 2-3 in the division now.
They are not. They are 3-2.
Are they? Let me see.
They're 3-2 in the division. Thank you for your call, Courtney. Titans are 3-2 in the division. They've beaten Indianapolis twice. They've beaten Houston. They lost to Houston, lost to Jacksonville. Winner of the Week 18 game wins the division, goes to the playoffs. That's there you go from there. But I teased this before the break about one thing that has really been a killer for the Titans. And I feel like a lot of Titans fans have, rightfully so, been frustrated with Todd Downing. But I think in this instance, what we saw last night against the Cowboys, you cannot blame Todd Downing for this. And it is 110% on the pass catchers. And that is the Titans' struggles on third down last night. Like at 3rd and 8 at the Titans 27. This is the Titans' second possession in the first quarter. Robert Woods, I thought was a great pass from Josh Dobbs. Ball went right through Robert Woods' hands. Titans punt. Cowboys get the ball back, and the Cowboys are able to capitalize. They kick a field goal. Cowboys are now up 10-0. When the Titans were driving, 3rd and 13 at the Dallas 24. Cannot take a sack here. You're in Cowboys territory. You're driving into field goal territory. Josh Dobbs takes a sack, lost a fumble, and Cowboys get the ball back. So what should have been points for you now turns into the Dallas Cowboys getting another opportunity and getting the ball back. So that's 2 third downs that you either lose the ball or both third downs, the Cowboys get the ball back. Second half, 3rd and 6 at the Titans 29. Burks can't hold on to the football. Punt, Cowboys get the ball back. And then Austin Hooper had 2 third down incompletions. And there are some instances where, they just didn't have an opportunity to catch the ball. There were some instances where it was on Josh Dobbs. And several instances, specifically with Robert Woods and Treylon Burks, that they just couldn't come down with a good ball that they should have come down with.
Exactly.
And so that the third downs have been an issue, I think, for this team all season long. Some of it at the hands of Todd Downing. But last night, I don't think that play calling was the issue. I don't think that it was a Todd Downing issue on third down, that it was simply just you cannot take a sack when you're in Dallas territory and you absolutely positively need points. And Robert Woods and Treylon Burks have to come down with those balls. Austin Hooper has to catch those balls.
Well, yeah, and that's what, what I meant by, those guys did a good job for the most part. But, Treylon Burks, when it's third, and I don't know what it was, third and 12, something like that, 10, 9, and you're running that in route, and Joshua Dobbs reads it perfectly. You got to catch that. I know it was a little bit behind you. I get that. But those are catches that you can make, So you got to make those catches. Robert Woods, you've dropped entirely too many balls this year for a guy that hadn't gotten many chances to catch them. You've dropped a lot of them.
I'm done with Robert Woods.
And the Titans may be done with them too after the season. But those are catches, like I said, those are catches against Jacksonville you got to make. Austin Hooper, you got to make those. You got to make those tough catches as well. And you've made some, but you can't leave third down plays on the field. You got to continue the drive. And on the flip side, the defense, you got to get off the field on third down. And at times you didn't. Now, some of it was because of pass interference or penalties here and there, but you have to get off the field on third down. Because to me, if you get at least one more stop, if you don't have that penalty, that 51-yard penalty, then that game might turn out a little bit different. Or if you convert on the pass to Treylon Burks, you convert on the pass to Woods or Austin Hooper, that can extend the drive and also end up in points. Whether it's 3 points or 7 points, it ends up in points. So moving forward, those are the plays that you got to make to ultimately win ball games.
I mean, and the Titans had to get every single point that they could possibly get last night. And there as a theme with the Titans all season long. But I think it was more obvious last night, considering you have a quarterback who's in his 5 years in the league, I think passed for 43 yards before last night, of you have to take every single opportunity that you're given. That you're not going to get a lot of opportunities when you have your B and C team out there, both offensively and defensively. You have to pick up the opportunities and don't make it more difficult for yourself. When you can drive the ball downfield, then you have to make those catches. You have to come down with those catches. Robert Woods and Treylon Burks, they are certified starters on this team. That's your wide receiver 1 and 2. When you're getting balls from a backup quarterback, you have to rely on your starters when you have so few of them in there. So that's one thing. And then 2, your defense is so banged up. Keep your defense off the field. I thought the defense gave the Titans the best opportunity to win last night. Keep your defense off the field. Keep your defense healthy. And at least be able to give them some time to rest so they can come back and continue to make plays against a Cowboys offense that I thought was moving and grooving last night. So the third downs were just, it was an issue for me. And I put my flag in the sand on Robert Woods. Maybe I'm later than everybody else. I'm done with Robert Woods. He's making $8 million this year. He's on the hook for $14 million next year. And Robert Woods is not playing like a $14 million wide receiver.
He's not playing like an $8 million
no,
wide receiver.
He's not playing like a starting wide receiver.
No, he's not. And that's unfortunate because they, especially now, they need him to step up big. They're going to need him to step up big against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That game may be a little bit difficult than what the Dallas game was. That's why they're going to need guys like Austin Hooper, Treylon Burks, Chig Okonkwo, Woods. They need those guys to continue making plays for them. They don't need those guys leaving plays on the field. I think Joshua Dobbs gained a lot of confidence from what he did yesterday. Was it a win? No. But I'm encouraged by his confidence. That's what I'm encouraged by, is that even when guys drop balls, he still got underneath center, still went out there and still showed the poise of a veteran guy. Like, listen, okay, you dropped it. I hate it, but let's move on. We got to keep going. You know, it was one play where, I don't know if anybody picked this up, where they had, I think it was a running play or a passing play. And after the play, I think they had to end up getting pressure. Dobbs walks over to Dennis Daly, and he kind of helps him up and pats him on the backside. Like, come on. Like, that's what you need.
Right.
When you know your guys are you know, maybe they have done something wrong, or they didn't get the block the way they were supposed to, or they allowed pressure. As a veteran guy and the leader right now of this offense, you go over there and you lift him up. Hey, let's go. Let's pick it up. We're fine. We got the playoff. Nothing happened. Let's go. Keep moving. That's encouraging for those guys up front, that you believe in them even when they give up, you know, pressure, or even when they give up sacks. You still believe that they're going to get the job done.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. I see your calls and your texts lining up, and it is your day, a Titans Reaction Friday. So we'll get right into your calls, your texts, your thoughts coming up next. And hey, be sure to follow us on Instagram at 1025 The Game Nashville. Chase, Willie, D Mace, Caroline Fenton in for Chase McCabe. It's 1025-1063 The Game.
Bowl season is here.
Keeps his feet out of a tackle, and it's a race now.
Catch all the action right here at 1025, 1063 The Game, and 94.9 The Fan.
Down the middle, right on the money, touchdown.
All the big moments of bowl season are presented by Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House, Pizza, Beer, Sports, headquartered in East Nashville, and by Superbook Sports.
My goodness, look out.
Bowl season is on 1025 and 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. A warm day ahead of us. Temperatures easily in the low to middle 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds increase throughout the day and a chance for a few scattered showers this afternoon through this evening. All of that rain wraps up by the middle of your New Year's Eve.
Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
It's Family Leisure's half off after Christmas sale.
Up to half off on floor models, scratch and dent, and discontinued merchandise.
Theater seating with two-piece sets starting at only $6.99. Massage chairs are only $9.99 as well.
Air hockey and foosball tables in stock and on sale starting at just $1.99.
Hundreds of full tables in stock for immediate delivery. Slate full tables starting at just $14.99 installed.
Above ground pools are all on sale with 24-foot starting at only $29.99 installed.
Family Leisure's up to half off after Christmas sale going on now.
Antioch and Franklin.
Want to kick off the new year without any credit card debt? If that sounds good to you, you can do it with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit. Wipe out all those credit card bills right now. Hey, Willie Donic here. Rates are down, and it's a great move to get on more solid financial footing for the new year. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a portion of the equity you have and enjoy a rate that's a whole lot less than what the banks charge on credit cards. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days. You can access up to 95% of your home's equity. Use that money to pay off those high-interest credit card loans of any type. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, whatever. Consolidate everything into one easy payment. Even if you did a whole total refi last year, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program and keep your main loan intact. Call Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Hey, Robbie Stanley here. Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. All you have to do is sign up with promo code ROB. The Titans and the Cowboys coming up on Thursday Night Football. I'll go with the Cowboys on the money line on that one. The Packers and the Vikings coming up on Sunday. Give me Green Bay at home to take that one. I think the Packers make things interesting coming down the stretch. But you take it any way you want to take it. All on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Sign up today with promo code ROB on FanDuel Sportsbook for your no-sweat first bet. Once again, that promo code is ROB. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Middle Tennessee, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, we're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and trusted by thousands of homeowners in our community. Our team is ready to assist with all your home maintenance projects, heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, appliance service, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-567-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Jared Stillman.
If you get 3 games where he doesn't turn the ball over, you're going to the Super Bowl.
Caroline Fenton.
I don't know if he would be open to joining another team.
Stillman and Company. Afternoons from 2 to 6.
Presented by TriStar Moving.
On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app. This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app.
Hey Josh, how big a challenge to start a game after just being here 8 days, and how in your mind do you think it is?
Yeah, I think it's a unique situation, and it's a wonderful opportunity that I really embraced and had a lot of fun with. So there's obviously things that I know that I can do better and be better, especially situationally, looking back through the game. And we'll dive into that because I know we got a big one coming up. But, I thought through the preparation and the guys, just how we fought throughout the game, it was great to see. We're throwing routes out there on the field that we haven't even thrown in practice with it being a short week. So just being able to make those plays, make critical plays throughout the game will propel us into this upcoming week where we actually have a full week to prepare for the game.
There you go. That was Josh Dobbs at the podium post game. And I don't know how you don't love that guy. Just looking at what he did for the Titans last night, his poise on the field, his poise off the field. I am so excited and encouraged from what I saw from Josh Dobbs last night. But it is your day. We are right to your phones. As promised, 615-737-1025. Our phone lines are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Wes in Clarksville texts in, says, it's weird to say this, but that was the best loss I have ever seen. I didn't feel bad afterwards because the players gave their all with the exception of a couple dumb penalties. I agree. I mean, I don't know if it's the best loss I've ever seen, but I went into that game last night thinking the Titans were going to get completely mutilated 100-0. And they fought. It was a way closer game than I ever could have expected, and I think fans can feel encouraged from what they've seen.
Yeah, I mean, they can. I think that going into this game, no one expected, the offense, at least, the offense to look the way it did. And again, it could have been a merit of things. But what it boils down to is Joshua Dobbs played a lot better at that position than Malik Willis has been playing. And that's what they needed. I thought they also needed to win, but they didn't get it. But I think they feel a little bit better headed into the Jacksonville game.
Yeah.
Division games are still hard no matter what. But I think they feel at least there are some plays. Because with Malik Willis, they were sort of the playbook was cut off in a sense.
Yeah.
They probably was only using maybe 10% of the playbook with Malik Willis. That's running past. Yeah, that's because they can't. At this stage of his career, they just can't do it. With Joshua Dobbs, they can use more of the playbook because he's a veteran guy. He gets it. He understands it. He damn sure processes it very, very quickly. So they feel confident that they can go out and, like he said, we threw routes that we didn't even throw in practice because of the short week. Well, the reason they were able to do that because they trusted him, and he showed that, throughout the game, he started to gain more confidence. Yep. And I think they started to gain more confidence in him. There was a throw he made on a rollout. He rolled out to the left side of the field, I believe. And the pass wasn't completed because he did get some pressure from Micah Parsons. But just the sheer fact that he tried to fit it in between two defenders was a encouraging sign to me because he put it where only the receiver could catch it. That's a veteran guy. A rookie guy would not do that. He see two guys, he's throwing away from that, or he's throwing the ball over his head. Joshua Dobbs put it in a spot where only the receiver could get it. Now, he didn't catch it because it was a little bit behind and low, but it wasn't going to get picked off either. That would have had to have been a really good adjustment by the receiver. But it was encouraging to see because Malik Willis wouldn't have made that throw at all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that his passing ability adds another layer to this offense that they never could have had with Malik Willis. And the defense is forced to place defenders in different places and do different things with Josh Dobbs that the threat just isn't there with Malik Willis. But this text is kind of a doozy, and I want to put a stop to a narrative that I feel like has kind of been snowballing.
Is it
on
Dobbs
Titans
mania?
Twitter. It is Dobbs mania. Chuck Texan says, I believe Josh Dobbs needed to knock some rust off. He's hands down better than Tannehill. Look, people.
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
Look.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Hands down?
Hands down. All caps. Hands down better than Tannehill. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
That was funny. Josh Dobbs mania has started. Okay?
And I don't know Chuck, but I'm just going to guess that Chuck is probably a Vols fan.
Yeah, UT
fan.
fan.
And there are so many Vols fans out there that are like, woohoo, Josh Dobbs. Look. Josh Dobbs made me so much more confident in this team because my options are Josh Dobbs or Malik Willis. And Malik Willis has yet to throw for more than 100 yards in a single game. I don't think Malik Willis was ready to see an NFL field this year, and he did. And so when my options are Josh Dobbs, who can at least be competent with the football, who can at least move the ball downfield, who can at least throw the football, yes, that's a better option over Malik Willis, who I don't think is a quarterback in the NFL. That does not mean that Josh Dobbs is one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the league. I don't believe that for a single second. Ryan Tannehill, on the other hand, is. Ryan Tannehill is better than some of the 32 quarterbacks in this league. Ryan Tannehill's not an elite quarterback by any means.
But he's not the worst of the 32.
He's a top 20 quarterback in the league.
Exactly.
Like, he's not going to win you a Super Bowl single-handedly, but he's also not going to make boneheaded decisions that lose you football games.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs is not better than Ryan Tannehill. So stop with this whole, should Josh Dobbs be the Titans starting quarterback next year? I don't know if Tannehill's going to be, but that doesn't mean Josh Dobbs is going to be.
Hey, listen, Vol fans, bring it on. I know y'all out there. Y'all want to say that he needs to be the starter moving forward, even next season. So bring it on, please. I want to hear it all. Joshua Dobbs is a good backup, or he showed that he was a good backup last night. There's no way on God's green earth you can sit here and say with a straight face and a sound mind that Joshua Dobbs is better than Ryan Tannehill after one game. If you believe that, then I want to sell you. I have these bushes outside in the backyard that I'm getting ready to cut down. They're not rose bushes, but we can pretend they're rose bushes, and I want to sell them to you each for about $20,000, okay? They're going to grow, and money's going to come from it. But I need you to have them because they just won't grow right in my backyard. So give me $20,000 a piece for those for that bushel, and you can have them,
Some
okay?
people might fall for it.
Exactly. I am not going to fall for the, Joshua Dobbs is better than Ryan Tannehill. Or Joshua Dobbs is one of the best, because what you're essentially saying is he's one of the best 32 quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Yes.
And that is indeed not the case. Did he prove that he can lead this team? Yes, he did. Did he prove that he can make this offense competent? Yes, he can. He should be able to. He's been in the league 6 years. 6 years. He's sat behind a Hall of Fame quarterback in Roethlisberger, so he's learned some things. He was able to sit. They didn't bring him in to play. They brought him in to sit and eventually get better and become a starter. Well, he's doing exactly what was being taught of him. He's coming in as a backup and allowing this offense to run efficiently. That doesn't mean after one game that he's better than Ryan Tannehill. Put together, see, that's what's wrong with our society. After one time, it's like, oh, this person is this person. No, they're not. Give me a body of work first. Give me a body of work. My son's going to medical school. When he comes out, I'm not going to allow him to operate on me the first time. No, get a body of work first, young man. You're going to be great. I know it, DJ. You're going to be one of the best neurosurgeons in the world. But you need to get some you need to get some work up underneath you.
Is diagnosing society.
You need to get some work up underneath you. That's just like Joshua Dobbs. You need to get a body of work before I start proclaiming you better than Ryan Tannehill.
He's not better than Tannehill.
Or one of the 32.
He's better than Malik Willis, and that's the most important
Definitely.
thing. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Coming up next, Willie will join the party. His thoughts on Josh Dobbs and moving forward. Should the Titans make up their mind about another quarterback in the quarterback room? We'll get into that coming up next. 615-737-1025. Chase, Willie, D Mace, 1025, 1063 The Game.
You watch the game.
Sliding across, making the stop, UC Sarah.
We talk the game.
That wraparound goal by Sanford was a beaut. Tanner Janot, Ryan Johansson gets on the board.
We are the game. Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe, and every season is screwball season in my house. No matter the time of year, that rich, smooth taste just hits the spot. Y'all know Screwball. It's made with real whiskey, peanuts, and peanut butter, and it's just flat out delicious. It's my favorite. However you take it, as a shot, in an espresso martini, or a peanut butter old-fashioned, make it a Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022 Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Hey, let's get brunch. How long is the wait?
Tired of the same old brunch spots? 2 words, bottomless brunch. That's right, Almost Friday is the newest sporting club in downtown Nashville, and they're ready to help you elevate your weekend. All you can eat and drink while you watch the game, play flip cup, pong, or other games, and turn it up with their DJs. There's no other place in Nashville like it. If it's not Friday, it's Almost Friday. Reserve your table now at almostfridaynash.com. It's always Almost Friday at Almost Friday Sporting Club.
Celebrate New Year's Eve at Rebar at the Dam. Ring in your Nashville New Year with live music from Backlit performing on stage. As always, watch all the big games on the giant video walls and multiple TVs. Advance tickets on sale now. Single $15, couples $25. Rebar at the Dam. Why fight the downtown crowds when you have a party right in your own backyard? Plenty of free, well-lit parking. Rebar at the Dam, just off Stewart's Ferry Pike. It's a damn good time.
The Nashville Sheriff is hiring correctional officers. Earn $52,500 after paid training and probation. Positions are available immediately. You must be 21 and over with a high school diploma or GED. Come join our family. That's $52,500 with great benefits. Apply now at sheriff.nashville.gov/apply or call 615-862-8170. Earn $52,500. Stop searching. Apply now. The Nashville Sheriff.
Hey, it's Jared. Are you looking to move? If so, do yourself a favor and reach out to my friends at TriStar Moving. You can be assured your move will be stress-free because they've got new utility vans to help with pack jobs to separate your high-value or fragile items from the bulk of your furniture, and their movers are carefully picked and highly trained. No one in the game is doing this. TriStar Moving is raising the standard in the moving industry. When you're ready to move, give them a call. TriStar Moving, 615-640-1219, or online at nationalmoving.org/radio, and tell them Jared Stillman referred you for 10% off. That's TriStar Moving.
OrderGreen.com. You know them by now. They're my only choice for high-quality THC and CBD products, and they're delivered right to my doorstep. Hey, folks, Joe Rexrode here. Yes, you heard that right. OrderGreen.com will send cannabis products right to you with discreet same-day shipping. OrderGreen.com has been great for me. Just what I need during this busy time of year. Takes the edge off physically, mentally. Terrific products. And if you use promo code Joe20, you're going to get 20% off your first purchase at OrderGreen.com. Do you have a subscription to OrderGreen.com? It'd be a lot cooler if you did. You won't be able to tell if you're in Colorado or Tennessee. Trust me. That's OrderGreen.com.
Live from the Game Nashville studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators. 102.5 and 106.3.
A gunny performance. Do your job.
And the Tigers regain the lead.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
These are battles. These are grinds. We don't panic. We don't freak out. That's how we're built. 1, 2, 3, 9.
This is your drive to the playoffs update, presented by Coleman Tractor, Tennessee's largest Kubota dealer, on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Titans fall to the Cowboys 27-13 in Nissan Stadium for Thursday Night Football. That's the 6th straight loss for the Tennessee Titans, but their future in the playoffs this year will come down to Week 18. Josh Dobbs had his first NFL start at quarterback for the Titans, and Mike Vrabel said he thought he did well considering he just joined the team about a week ago.
8 days or 9 days, I think he was excited for this opportunity. Get his first start. And I think something that we've always said that, since I've been here, is that it doesn't really matter how you end up here or how you get here. The only thing that matters is what you do when you're here. And we've had a lot of guys, take advantage of those opportunities. And, I think Josh wanted to try to do, the best that he could. Unfortunately, we lost, and I'm sure we'd like to have the interception back, but did some good things, just not well enough.
The Titans have a little extra rest before they head down to Jacksonville to see who will take the AFC South. This report is presented by Coleman Tractor. I'm Michelle Knesvik for 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Now let's see if we can bring them to life, all right?
Bringing you entertainment and informative sports talk during your workday.
Smart, funny, classy, and I like him a lot.
This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace with Chase McCabe, Willie Donic,
Mason, touchdown, Tennessee,
and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason. Presented by Hair Club. Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life. On Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live every day. Our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, Caroline Fenton, in for Chase McCabe today. Willie Donic joins us now. Willie, we've been breaking down the Titans' loss to the Cowboys last night. I want to get your thoughts on it, but I started the show by saying I think that this could absolutely be considered a moral victory for the Titans. Yes, it's the 6th loss in a row, but I think that there is so much good to take away from it. The Titans didn't get blown out by a Cowboys team that's looked pretty solid all year, and it looks like they found their starting quarterback for Week 18 against the Jags.
Caroline, I am a graduate of Vanderbilt University. I watched a lot of Vanderbilt football games over the years, and so I am very careful to throw out moral victories because they can sink you if you go to that well too many times. There have been a lot of Vanderbilt games where they play somebody they're not supposed to beat. They play them tough, and everybody pats them on the back and says, hey, great job, guys. You really fought. But in this case, I think you're absolutely right. I said it yesterday on our show. I wanted to see them fight. I know they did what they did. They had to do it. It was the smart move. It was what was the right thing to do. It's all about next week. But at the same time, I didn't want to see them mail it in. And I thought they really did play very hard last night. And as Mike Vrabel said, if they didn't have a few too many mistakes, that game could have maybe been a little bit close. I also think Dallas kind of sleptwalked. I thought they thought, hey, we're just going to kind of roll in here. We should win even without our best. And I think they made the Cowboys work for it. So I agree. There's some things that I think give you a lot of hope that they could turn around and win in Jacksonville next week.
Yeah, it did. And Willie, one of those is, that Dobbs looked more in command. He looked more poised, and rightfully so. You expect a guy that has been in the NFL 6 years and been at some of the places that he's been, to have that poise. I think it helps him that he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers organization for the time he was there, playing behind, Ben Roethlisberger and learning offenses, learning how to go out and move an offense and be the leader of a offensive unit. So to me, it showed last night that he took all of those things that he has learned, and he implemented it in his one game that he was able to be a starter from beginning to end. His stats could have been a lot better if it wasn't for some drops. But he also made some mistakes that I think next week you can't have against a divisional foe. But in all, I think he played well. I think he gave that offense an opportunity to put up points. I'm not just being a sport guy and playing in that league. More victories doesn't mean anything to guys like Byard or Simmons or anybody else. They want to get the victory. But I think it does make them look at the next game a little bit different had Malik Willis been in the game.
Yeah, Caroline, let me add this on Dobbs. Number one, he's just such an impressive guy. You can't overlook that. I just like how he handles himself. His perspective was good. He said all the right things in the press conference last night. So I think you like the fact that regardless of how he does next week, and he's gonna start against Jacksonville. There's 100%. No doubt in my mind. I think you feel like he's going to handle it like a pro. He may not play well, but I think he's going to do the preparation. I think he's going to have the respect of his teammates. I think given the fact that just 8 or 9 days in, he sort of grasped enough to be able to give them a few layers that they didn't have while Malik Willis was quarterbacking. They could call some plays that they didn't feel comfortable calling before. I think sink or swim, I think you'll have a good feeling going in. I think that's going to be key. And, Derek, you tell me. It's easy. We were watching the game together last night, myself, Hal Gill, Lindsey Rowley. We just went over to a sports bar and caught the game. Hal was saying, can he win the respect of the team? Like, can they believe in him enough in this short period of time to where they go down to Jacksonville and feel like they've got a chance? Because next week will feel different, right? The Cowboys, they needed to win that game, but I think they knew that their C-level game was going to win. Jacksonville is going to be in a different mental space. I mean, they haven't played for much in a long time. There's going to be maybe some tension. There's going to be an intensity that wasn't there. So how do you think Josh Dobbs can do in that sort of winning the locker room over?
Honestly, Willie, it kind of seemed to me that he already had. I looked at that team last night, a team that I think has been playing kind of lethargic and uninspired. Like, those paddles that you get in the back of an ambulance? It's like, clear, and you just like bring somebody back to life. That's how I felt that team looked last night, that they just looked re-energized, that they looked like a team that was playing for something, that they looked like a team that had hope. And I think that was a team that was bought in to Josh Dobbs. And to your point, Willie, the post-game press conference, he was poised. He said all the right things, and I think that kind of showed on the field as well. He looked like a quarterback that just sat back in the pocket and looked incredibly poised and confident. I think the team is bought in already, and maybe it was just the idea of we've got a new quarterback in here that can, at least give us another opportunity or a new opportunity. And I think that the team has continued to buy in from him there, just based off of what we saw on the field last night.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine in regards to that. I brought up an instance on the field that I saw yesterday, last night, where, the Titans Dallas had gotten pressure and Dobbs went to throw the football and it wasn't a completion because he got pressure and everything else. And I think Dennis Daly had failed or something. So he ended up walking over to Dennis Daly and patting him on the butt and, just giving him some words of encouragement. That means a lot to teammates, especially teammates that has been struggling as Dennis Daly has. He feels now somebody has my back. I'm going to go out there and fight a little bit harder. Not to say things are going to change, but I'm going to fight a little bit harder because my quarterback believes in me. Right before the half, when Mike Vrabel was high-fiving people as they were coming out the field, going into the locker room, guess who was right next to him? Joshua Dobbs, doing the same things. Those are things that is going to gain the confidence of your teammates. More important, the confidence of the offense. So I think because of the way he played, because of his poise in the game, I think he's already gained that confidence. Now he has to go out there and reproduce what he did last night versus the Dallas Cowboys. And again, it's going to be a little bit tougher because it's a divisional game, and this is going to be a playoff environment for the Jacksonville Jaguars, so it's going to be a little bit different. But I think they feel confident as an offense that at least he gives them a shot to win. That's what he gives them.
At Caroline, I think your paddles. I think that's a good analogy because I like the body language. You could see it, right? They were picking each other up. They knew they were the underdog. They sort of took that stance. But every time something positive happened, I'm with you, Derek. I saw those things. And if somebody made a mistake, they were over there to pick them up, right? I thought I saw a team there. But what's going to be different next week? Last night was a nothing-to-lose atmosphere. Next week, I think they're going to go in there believing that they can win and need to win and will win. But I think that's a little different than the vibe from last night. So there's going to be more pressure. Next week, there's going to be a lot more on the line, and let's see what they look like when that happens with some key guys back in there. I think it's going to be a heck of a theater. There's a lot to play for. I think we're going to feel so much different down the road. If they can salvage this, I think that's a feather. That's a notch on their belt, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, I think. But if they don't win it, boy, it's really gonna feel differently to say, man, they couldn't win one more game when they were 7-3. You know what I mean? So there's a lot on the line next Sunday.
The people have some thoughts on Josh Dobbs as well, so we'll get to your phones. Phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Rob's up next. What's up, Rob?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
There's no way that you can say Josh is better than Tannehill at this point because Tannehill's got a track record. He's got history behind him. But if you look at the skill sets, I don't see much different in the skill sets at this point, except Josh is younger, faster, more mobile. His decision-making would get better. He's definitely more mobile than Tannehill.
I don't think people give Tannehill's mobility enough credit.
Hey, look at college. If we want to go back to that, that's about the only time we can really look at Josh.
Why are we going back to college?
He's the all-time leading rushing quarterback at Tennessee. He is a running quarterback.
Do you remember? You remember Tannehill was a receiver.
You
remember Tannehill was a receiver before he was a quarterback, right? Do you know that he was brought into college at what was it, Texas Tech as a receiver, Texas A&M as a receiver, not a quarterback.
Yeah, thank you for your call, Rob. Look, I don't think people give Tannehill's running ability enough credit, his mobility enough credit. When you got the best running back in the league, you're going to run it with your running back to protect your quarterback. But let's not – and look, Josh Dobbs, I'll give him credit. He is incredibly elusive. He's got great running ability, but let's not act like Ryan Tannehill is some sort of Peyton Manning statue in the pocket.
Exactly, he's
not.
He's
an excellent runner.
He's not.
It was compromised. It was compromised
because of the ankle. Yeah, that's why he couldn't get outside the pocket.
I think going forward next year, if they keep him, which is looking more and more like it's going to be the best option to keep him, is can he regain that mobility to some degree? I don't know if he'll ever be the same as he was a couple years ago, but of course at his best, we know he was an excellent runner. Excellent runner.
Corey Curtis, News 2, will join us coming up next. We'll get his thoughts on the game last night on Josh Dobbs. We'll get into that coming up next. Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Sanders for the touchdown, 48 yards. Former NFL wide receiver Chris Sanders joins Stillman and Company to give his thoughts on all things Titans and NFL. Fueled by Parman Energy, now hiring fuel drivers. Apply now at ParmanEnergy.com on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Ford South. I love this time of year. Christmas music, big meals, and maybe even a little snow. There's just something in the air. I don't know about you guys, but I have my leg lamp in the window and my moose glass for eggnog. I'm ready to kick off these holidays right. At Newton, we want to help you kick off the holidays right by helping spread the holiday spirit. And trust me, we have a lot of holiday spirit. We love helping customers find ways to surprise their loved ones with a new car. Can you imagine the look in their face Christmas morning? And if you aren't sure you're on the good list, we can put in a good word with the big guy. Don't be a Scrooge. Change your car buying experience in Newton and find out how we can help you start off the holidays with a new car. We have more new cars in stock right now than we've had any time in the past year. It's like a Christmas miracle. Kind of. Shop now at newtonford.com to find your next car today.
Hey, time to tell you about Lee Company, 615-567-1000, or go to leecompany.com. Lee Company's got all your needs, general maintenance, home, and at work. And look, when the weather gets rough, there could be some maintenance that needs to be done on your house in some form or fashion. Maybe a little ice, a little snow, and you got some issues with the outside of your house, or something happened with the plumbing, something happened with your heater, just remember that number. It's always available to you. Lee Company, 615-567-1000, or go to leecompany.com. They're a proud sponsor of our Nashville Predators coverage. The game starts at 4 o'clock Central. Our coverage begins on 102.5 The Game at 3 o'clock Central. Predators and the Anaheim Ducks. Lee Company, general maintenance, home or at work. Don't forget home improvement is also under their umbrella. And, of course, the home maintenance plan, the year-round coverage of heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Give them a call, 615-567-1000 or leecompany.com.
Now is a fantastic time to sell in Nashville, but you can't do it without the intel. And no one has better intel than the Gary Ashton team. You may be wondering, what is this intel I keep hearing about? Intel so you can sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel on where to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel that helps you win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Everyone else is getting the same information and competing for the same properties. GaryAshton.com gives you the edge with the best real estate intel in Nashville. No one else even comes close. Plus, the Gary Ashton team is the official real estate agent for the Preds. Get the confidence to sell your home and find your dream address without the stress. Call the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage today at 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com. And remember, don't sell without the intel.
Oil Fire Whiskey. You will like it. She will love it. It's dangerously seductive.
Curation CBD, a Pick-10 company, offers high-quality, lab-tested CBD products curated for life for both you and your pet.
Hi, I'm Adam Itahar, also known as the Dog Father of Nashville. Curation 600 milligram CBD roll-on really helps me get through my training days. Applying it in the morning and again at night helps me take bites from dogs like Zulu or go on adventures with dogs like Lieutenant Dan. Curation is awesome.
Discover the full range of Curation products online at CurationCompany.com.
We want to hear from you.
Thanks for taking the call.
Join the conversation. Call or text at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
I'm ready to step this up a notch.
You're listening to Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app.
Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Corey Curtis, News 2, joins the show now. Corey, Titans drop Thursday Night Football 27-13 to the Dallas Cowboys, but I've said all day long, even though this is the 6th loss in a row for the Titans, even though it was a loss at home on Thursday Night Football to the Dallas Cowboys, even though the stadium was probably 80% full of Dallas Cowboys fans, I'm still stepping away from this game, feeling so much better about the Tennessee Titans. Your thoughts on the game last night?
Well, I think that's the overwhelming sentiment is that they took a step forward in that football game. I mean, I know everybody hates the whole notion of moral victories and those sorts of things, but the defense competed, and I think just the overwhelming notion that Josh Dobbs gives them a chance, where I don't know that people felt that way with Malik at this point, I think is the overwhelming sentiment. It's a ray of hope for the Tennessee Titans, and he wasn't the only guy to supply it, but he was the big one who supplied it.
News 2, Corey Curtis is with us, and I'm with you, Corey. I made up my mind almost halfway through the first quarter. I said, yep, Josh Dobbs, I can tell already gives you a better chance to win in Week 18. So my question for you is, while we've made up our mind about Week 18, do you think the Titans have made up their mind about Malik Willis, not just next week, but next season as well?
I don't know. It's a good question. They work with him every day, so they see the progress that he's made and the progress that he hasn't made. And he's gotten chances to play this year, but even before the season, we all knew he was a guy who was probably a year or two away. So, look, I think they have. I think they have to have this conclusion that I think it's the one you guys are going to agree with. There's no way they could go into next season with him as their number one. Like, you can't go into this offseason saying, all right, we're going to move on from Tannehill. We're going to go to Malik. He's going to have the whole offseason to get going. There's no way that they could possibly do that. So I think they have to know that it's got to be Tannehill or somebody else to start next season. Does that mean Malik can never be the guy? No, but I don't think he's ready anytime soon. And I think they have to have that same conclusion.
Now, with that being said, Corey, do you believe, regardless of what happens next week, I think Joshua Dobbs, I think he'll play well, but I think it'll be a little bit harder. One, it's a division game, and then two, now Jacksonville has film of him. But do you think moving forward, basically because of what he showed last night, that he's a guy that's going to be on this roster come next spring, and then they will allow, whether it be he and Malik, or Malik and someone else to battle it out for that number 2?
Well, I mean, I think, here's the other thing. If you keep him on the roster, he's a lot like Tannehill, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's athletic, and he can move, and he can read, and he can make plays. And we don't know how substantial the surgery is going to be on Tannehill's ankle when this offseason is over, if he needs it. Because if he needs a Delaney Walker rebuild, I mean that's a big surgery, and that's a tough rehab. And he may not be ready when next year gets started. And so you would need a guy who you knew you could roll out there for 4 to 6 weeks to start the year. So I think he would make a lot of sense. I mean, you saw the experience. You saw how much more operational he was. And nobody's going to certainly afford him. I don't like to make overreaching statements based on one game. I mean, we've seen guys. Who remember that left-hander for the Lions with Scott Mitchell?
Yeah, Scott Mitchell. Believe me, I know.
I mean, we've seen guys flash, and then be handed the keys to the kingdom, and we're not talking about that. Mm-hmm. We're talking about handing him the keys to the back room and saying, hey, we'd like you to stay with us for a while. And I think, look, he's a smart kid. He's a hard worker. He's athletic. And he can play. I mean, he can come in and operate an NFL offense. And I think, that's the bottom line. And I know we're going to get more into this. But, guys, the biggest key to me is he gets the ball to the Titans' playmakers. He gives their playmakers a chance to do something in the game where Malik just isn't ready to do that. Mm-hmm. And, now Derek doesn't have to do it all. Like last week against the Texans, they had a touchdown drive where it was 52 yards. They rushed all 52 yards. Okay? They don't have to do it that way anymore. They can make some plays down the field because you can get the ball to Robert Woods, and you can get the ball to Traylon Burks, and you can get the ball to Chig Okonkwo. It's a big, big difference. And so you're right, Derek. It will be harder. They'll be more keyed up for him. They'll be ready to force him to do some things he maybe doesn't like to do. But he's also going to have number 22 back there to take some of the heat off of him, because I can guarantee you this, Jacksonville is a hell of a lot more concerned about him than they are about Josh Dobbs.
You're right. We're talking Corey Curtis News, too. Now, Corey, one guy that I do want to talk about, and I want to rave about him, and I just want to hear what you have to say about him, is Kevin Byard. Because when everybody else was sitting and resting, he wanted to play. And not only did he want to play, he showed up like the all-pro guy that he is. He looked like the best safety in the National Football League last night. And that, to me, showed me how much he cares about winning and how much he cares about winning for this team.
No, I mean, look, the mayor has got all sorts of pride, and he is, look, Mace, you are a pro's pro. I mean, you put in the work. You had the fine details. He's the same way. It's all about the fine details. This guy's got 27 career interceptions. 27. That's a ton. That is a ton. He's had 5 seasons where he's had 4 or more interceptions. So he didn't just flash one time and do this. He's doing it every year. And let me take you through the second interception, because I was just so impressed not just by the play, but the whole thing. He jumps the route, and he did what he always does. He catches the ball. The guy never drops the ball when he gets his hands on it. That's one of the things that separates him to me as a DB. But he gets the ball. He's immediately headed the other way with it. And you know what he did as soon as he took 3 steps? He shifted the ball from his left arm to his right arm on the sideline. That's the fine details. That's the kind of pro that guy is. And you're absolutely right. He basically said, if I'm healthy, I'm out there, and not just but for me, but for the guys in this locker room who put it on the line each and every day.
We're talking to Corey Curtis from Channel 2. Corey, I'm gonna ask the tough question in hindsight here. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, but I want to go back to discussions that you had in the preseason, because I can remember what I was saying. I remember saying this verbatim as I was watching Malik Willis, and this was maybe not at the end of the preseason, but I said, if he were comfortable being the backup next year, I think that would be good progress for him, given where he had come from in the Liberty system. You know, he's transferred. He was a project. He was a classic project. Do you think they took too much of a leap of faith in making him the backup from day one?
I think the leap of faith was in that Tannehill was going to be healthy for all 17 games. Because, you know, talking with Mike Vrabel and some of the conversations they had, they were confident that, you know, with where he was at, they could get through a game or two. And they did that, right? When they played the Texans and the Chiefs, they went down to Houston and won. They took the Chiefs to overtime, and you're like, okay, got through those 2 games. But then when Tannehill got hurt again, you know, then now you got a problem. And obviously now you're finishing the season. And he's just not ready. Because like you said, you know, we knew he was a year, probably 2 years of a project. And, you know, with the 53-man roster, you know, they make these decisions on keeping two quarterbacks and usually, you know, putting one on the practice squad. You know, I think most people are at a point now where we'd like to see the NFL come up with some system where there's 3 quarterbacks on the roster. Because now you lose a quarterback and, you know, you got one guy for the rest of the game and you're just hoping he doesn't get hurt. But yeah, that was a gamble. You know, that was a gamble for sure. But let me ask this at the same time. Did you stumble upon somebody better? Is Dobbs better than Logan Woodside? You know, because I think you can look at it and say, you know, he might offer a little bit of upside. So it might be a mistake that ends off paying in the long run.
Corey Curtis, News 2. We appreciate you, Corey. We'll chat with you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Should be fun. I know everybody's a whole lot more interested in this game and optimistic about it being a game than they were about 24 hours ago.
And it's a whole lot more interesting than we ever expected it to be a few weeks ago. But appreciate you, Corey Curtis. Coming up next, we'll see Mike Vrabel at the podium. He'll recap the Titans' loss to the Cowboys last night. That's coming up next, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Didn't get what you wanted for Christmas? Never fear. Hi-Fi Buy's legendary after Christmas sale is here. We're grossly overstocked and need to reduce inventory now. Most items are at or slightly above dealer cost. Make an offer. Any reasonable offer accepted. Stunningly low prices on high-performance products. Even better prices on high-end display models. Don't miss out. Hi-Fi Buy's legendary after Christmas sale is on now.
Retail store only. Manufacturers that prohibit discounting excluded.
The Nashville Jam Company is already a super popular weekend breakfast and brunch destination. But with summer over, it's time to put the beach body away for a while. So for fall, they've expanded their offerings and added what they call the Meat and 3 menu. Yeah, cool weather and Southern comfort food go hand in hand. And the stars of this show are the hefty meatloaf, Southern fried catfish, slow-cooked pot roast, fried chicken, Salisbury steak, and a slew of other rib, stick, and delicacies. And they have salads, too, if you're into that kind of thing. Come see the new menu Monday through Friday from 10:30 till 2.
Hey, this is Pete Weber. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Able to get the ball out of his hand. and I thought he was, made some really good throws on third down. We had the situation there at the end of the half, which is good to be able to get that ball over there to Traylon and get us some points there before the end of the half. So, a lot of positives, a lot of things that we'll have to improve on, and see where we go next week.
You said you've got a tough decision to make. What kind of goes into that decision as you evaluate both quarterbacks?
Well, I think in the end it's the same at who gives you the best chance to win one game. That's where we're at. That's the only thing that matters is winning one game, getting healthy, getting rested, getting recovered, and then winning one game and finding out who's going to do that. And they probably both will at some point in time.
Wyatt, can you take us back through the process of the decision to sign Josh sight unseen off of a practice squad at the quarterback position? Because, there's not a lot of game film on him from regular season. What made him worth the risk?
Well, I think you're just trying to evaluate what when Ryan's unavailable at that point in time, and now going forward, what the vision that you have for the position, how you think you can have somebody come in here and learn and work with. Went through a bunch of names, went through a bunch of conversations, and that's who we ended up with, and excited that he's here, and I thought he took advantage of his opportunity, and we'll see where that leads.
Did anybody on the staff, scouting wise or coaching staff, have any prior connection to him to kind of give you some insight on him?
I don't think nobody coached him per se. I think just the evaluations that we've had from him in the past and kind of what he's done and his ability to he had some veteran presence, not a whole lot of game experience, but certainly has been around and been in this league and is prepared, and that was something that was evident from an early point in time when he got here.
With the production and the decisiveness we saw last night, what makes the decision tough?
I just want to make sure that we're every decision that we make, we want to try to put some thought into and make sure that it's thought out, and we'll see what goes after this weekend.
As far as that decision going into yesterday, how much was it something that you may not have gotten from Malik Willis as opposed to just wanting to get Dobbs out there to see what you
It was pretty much everything, just make a decision and go from there.
How much did downfield element in the passing game help last night? How important was it to get some downfield shots?
Well, it was huge for to be able to move the ball down the field and have Racy come down with it, and going to need to see some other guys that can go and make some plays, or whether it's the catch and runs. We've seen those. Our ability to execute some of those plays that to get guys to the second level. Julius had a nice one of those, and we'll continue to try to throw the ball down the field. We have to connect. I thought Traylon did his best to adjust to that ball. I think that there's some really cool things there. Unfortunately, felt like the guy grabbed his left arm and, he wasn't able to catch it. But for him to come back and, not fall, not run out of bounds, I thought he was in a great position to adjust to that ball. We just need, more of those.
Frustrated were you, I guess, with the drops and what has to happen there other than guys just simply catching the ball?
Guys simply just have to catch the ball. I don't know. We had 19 jugs machines, and everybody catches them on the jugs. We just, when you go out there, you only get one opportunity sometimes, and you have to hit it. And it's the same with situations on defense. When a play is needed to be made, to win, you have to make them.
How much did the approach maybe of this week and having now a weekend to rest help get this team a little bit healthier for this final game?
Well, it should. It should. And, again, I have a lot of appreciation for the way that everybody handled last week. I know it was different and unique, but it was the situation. And, again, we can't avoid distractions. The only thing we can do is how we handle them. I thought everybody was prepared. I thought they played hard, not without mistake. I thought we beat ourselves too many times to win the football game. But, I thought guys were ready to go. I thought they, executed at times. Looked like exactly like we needed to do to win. Just unfortunate that it wasn't consistent enough and we made too many mistakes.
How crowded is the training room during a weekend off
Well, I mean, I think that the guys that need the treatment will be there. I mean, it's, there's nothing more important than the health of the team. And if you can't play and you don't play, you're expected to be in there in treatment. And I'm sure there'll be a big group because everybody, they want to feel better. They don't want to not feel well going into the biggest week of the season.
Assuming you do get some of the kind of the big names back that rested the other night, how much of a psychological lift does that provide too?
I mean, I think it can. I mean, I think, again, it's about going out and performing. So the players that go out there have to perform and have to do their job, and have to do their job well, not just show up and walk out there. That won't be enough.
David Long would be eligible to return after 4 weeks. Is there a chance he could get activated into his window this week?
Yeah, we better get to it here before too long. So hopeful that maybe he does, and he can try to see if he can help us through a week of practice.
You got any indication from the league on when you'll play? And I guess your schedule will be dictated by whether it's Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I would imagine that's going to go through Monday night. So based on however that Monday night game goes, we'll be ready to play whenever they want us to play.
It's kind of, I guess, it's a big decision. You only have the one IR remaining. Is it certainly, if assuming David Long is ready to go, is it he's the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're kind of running out of options. I mean, I would say, like, if you're talking about Harold Landry, yeah, he's not going to be coming back.
About the challenge with Jacksonville.
Why are they laughing at you, John? I mean, I'm laughing at you.
Right? Just asked the question.
What is the challenge, Mike, I guess, against Jacksonville second time around, based on what you saw?
Well, the challenge is just try to do some of the things that we did really well, which was, have 9 explosive gains on offense, move the football, not turn it over, not make some very critical mistakes in the way that we handled the football, not give up X plays, not allow them to catch short gains that turn into 20 or 30 yards, catch and runs. I mean, if they beat you, they beat you, but not beating ourselves. Trying to affect the quarterback, and again, that's by getting there, forcing them off the spot. That's by tipping passes. That's like doing some of those things a little bit better. And making sure that we're not beating ourselves. That there's a lot of good things from that tape. It's a close football game. I mean, we're winning a football game on their side of the 50, and we turn it over, gain another first down on an X play into the red zone, turn it over. Then we're backed up. Don't execute a blocking assignment. The quarterback gets the ball stripped out. And defensively, we give up a 3rd and 2 for a catch and run touchdown. A lot of those things that just really not making them earn it. We're just making mistakes there. And if they earn it and they beat us, then that's what they do.
Some of the guys that were unavailable last night and other guys maybe that were not completely familiar with what's going on, how much do you appreciate the way Kevin Byard played last night?
Thanked him countless times for his leadership throughout the week, his performance. Again, we need our best players to play good for us to win. And it was a winning performance. His ball production, I thought he tackled well. I thought he communicated and again, gave us a presence there, not only in the game but throughout the week.
When you look at this, this 6-game streak that you have of losing, like how tough is it to flip that switch and go out there and do what you have to do, this upcoming week against Jacksonville?
Well, I mean, I think we've been through this, whether you win 6 or lose 6. It doesn't matter really what you did last week. It's not going to matter what you did yesterday. We just have to play better. And, we've seen it happen in this league numerous times throughout the year, throughout this season, last season. There's only one game that matters, and that's this one.
Any chance LaRaven or Zach could get into the mix for left tackle for the finale?
I think we'll look at everything, but I think we see a lot of things differently. So we'll continue to try to, give ourselves the best chance to succeed, and I think we all kind of just have to make sure we understand what we're looking at when we look at it. And nobody's blocking perfectly. Nobody's running the ball. Nobody's throwing it perfectly. But, we're just trying to make sure we get the guys in the right place.
How much, I know the pass pressure wasn't great, but with Trey and Roger, is there technique breakdown that's hurting them in the end?
Technique. Grab the guy around the waist down the field. We're not coaching that technique. I think Roger's an aggressive player, and I think he'll start to get some of those calls. We just need, maybe our receivers start getting some of those calls where, we throw our hands up, and I don't know. But, yeah, we can't. We got a challenge down the field. Roger did at times. They tried him down the sideline. He had the guy covered on the side. I think he was an aggressive player. Trey, I don't have an answer for you, Paul. I don't.
I guess we've seen the last of Andrew Adams. How much did you appreciate how he came in here?
Well, he did just come in here from another team and learn the system really quickly. Played a bunch of positions for us. Had some production. Played through a lot of pain and bumps and bruises and wrist and this and that, and it meant something to him. It meant a lot to him to have this opportunity, and disappointed that he won't be able to help us here going forward. But we'll see where things go in the future. But he did everything that we asked him to, and I think he did everything that he could do to take advantage of his opportunity.
Coach, what's the message to the team this week?
We'll kind of stew on it a little bit, but, we'll get these guys back. We'll get them rested. I think just looking at it right now, that everything that happened, everything that everybody's saying, the good, the bad, none of it matters. The only thing that matters is how prepared we are, how ready we are to go down there to execute, and then ultimately how we perform on game day, with a lot on the line.
Practice schedule and all once the league decides if you're playing Saturday or Sunday?
If it's Saturday, then we'll make Tuesday a Wednesday, and if it's Sunday, Wednesday gets to stay a Wednesday.
Performance, were there some holes that he could have hit, or did he do a pretty solid job in his first start there?
I wouldn't say there was a ton of room. I thought the best run was being physical. So, yeah, there's some things we have to block better and make some more and make some guys miss and go from there. But, yeah, I just think there was some pressure and movement and things that we have to get cleaned up, kind of get into the rhythm of the run game. That's something that we have to be able to do, whether it's zone scheme or gap scheme, getting some of those things going.
All right, there you go. That was Mike Vrabel at the podium at St. Thomas Sports Park. Now, Mike Vrabel says they're indecisive about one big decision that they have to make for Week 18. I don't think that it should be a tough decision. And two, Mike Vrabel being indecisive about it, I think hurts this football team. And I'll explain why coming up next. Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3. The Game. And hey, Chase, Willie, and D Mace is presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life, creating custom hair loss solutions for men and women.
Every Wednesday at noon. No matter the down and distance and no matter the score, they're going to give him the football. Outkick 360's Jonathan Hutton joins Chase, Willie, and D Mace to talk all things Titans and NFL. I hope that they're not throwing flags simply because the league wants to see more of them. He's got opinions and insights on the two-tone blue. They are not as good at wide receiver and the playmaking department. Catch Hutton every Wednesday at noon. Presented by Blend Bar with Davidoff Cigars and by Edley's Barbecue on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. A warm day ahead of us. Temperatures easily in the low to middle 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds increase throughout the day and a chance for a few scattered showers this afternoon through this evening. All of that rain wraps up by the middle of your New Year's Eve.
Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Oil Fire Whiskey. You will like it. She will love it. It's dangerously seductive.
Curation CBD products. Curation began as our family's mission to provide the Nashville community with locally and organically sourced CBD products. We are passionate about providing high-quality CBD products for everyday use. Tinctures, topicals, and pet products too. We are a Pick 10 company. Our hemp is organically grown and produced in Nashville, Tennessee from sustainably sourced non-GMO genetics. All of our products are lab tested. Find all of our products at CurationCompany.com.
It's Family Leisure's half off after Christmas sale going on now.
Up to half off on floor models, scratch and dent, and discounted merchandise.
Enjoy the movie theater experience in the safety and comfort of your own home with theater seating from Family Leisure. 2-piece sets starting at only $6.99. 3-piece sets are only $9.99. Massage chairs are only $9.99 as well.
Family Leisure has air hockey and foosball tables in stock and on sale starting at just $1.99.
Family Leisure has 30 pool tables on display. Hundreds in stock for immediate delivery. Pool tables start at $7.99. Slate pool tables starting at just $14.99 installed.
Shovelboard tables from only $19.99.
Family Leisure is introducing our above ground pool sales now. 24-foot above ground pools start at only $29.99 installed.
That's Family Leisure's up to half off after Christmas sale going on now.
At both huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
Where family and fun come together. Hey, Robbie Stanley here, and one of the things I love about betting on the NFL is that I'm always finding new player or game props that I like, and what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. It's perfect for Sunday football, the Packers, and the Vikings. I'll go with the Green Bay Packers on the money line. I'll take Aaron Jones as an anytime touchdown scorer, but you can take it any way you want to take it. Same game parlays, just one of the reasons I bet with FanDuel. They've got great live betting options every single day, great odds boosts and specials as well, and when you get paid quickly from FanDuel Sportsbook. There's no feeling like nailing a same-game parlay bet, so lock in your bet today on FanDuel Sportsbook. If you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up today with promo code ROB for your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Once again, that promo code is ROB. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Save now on appliances and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to an additional $600 off select major appliances and instant savings from top brands like Samsung, LG, and Whirlpool. And you can take home what you buy same day. Plus, get store-wide savings on even more items. Head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowe's.com to shop the Truckload event today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Valid 12/29/14.
Robbie Stanley.
They get a lead in that game and just totally close the door.
Joe Rexrode.
If he plays next year, it's disastrous.
Robbie and Rexrode. Mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app. This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Mike Vrabel just took the podium breaking down the Titans' loss to the Cowboys last night. But I think the biggest thing, the number one thing that I was looking for in this press conference was how Mike Vrabel talked about Josh Dobbs. And if Mike Vrabel was going to come out and say Josh Dobbs is going to be the starter against Jacksonville in Week 18. I think the biggest takeaway, at least for me, and y'all correct me if you found something different, but I think the biggest takeaway for me was that Mike Vrabel said it's going to be a tough decision of who's going to start in Week 18. And I think that that's bad for this football team, and this is why. Because I think if you go ahead and say right now that Josh Dobbs is the starter for Week 18, you can couch it with, Malik has worked really hard all year long to be able to be a contributing factor for this football team. But we just found that maybe Malik got out there a little bit too soon. We're going to give him some more time to develop, some more time to hold the clipboard, some more time to learn. So that way, come time next year, he can be ready to help this football team. Whether that's a complete, load of crap or not, he can say, look, we're going to go with Josh Dobbs moving forward so we can give Malik the opportunity to learn. Now that Mike Vrabel has come out and said, it's going to be a tough decision, we're going to take the week to think about it, we're going to take the week to evaluate these two quarterbacks, then if and when Josh Dobbs gets the starting job on Sunday against the Jags, that shows that Malik lost the job once again. And that shows that the Titans don't believe in Malik for another week in a row. And I think that hurts Malik Willis. Just come out and say Josh Dobbs is the starter. And then you can use whatever excuse you want to say, hey, Malik isn't ready. But we believe in Malik.
Everybody in the building knows Joshua Dobbs is the starter next week. This is done for one reason and one reason only, to make Jacksonville prepare for both quarterbacks. That's all it's done for. I think Joshua Dobbs has proven that he gives them, at least he gives the offense a better opportunity to look like an NFL offense. He gives Todd Downey the better opportunity at opening up the playbook even more than what he did last night. So I don't think there's really a hard decision that coaching staff needs to make. I think they understand that Joshua Dobbs is the starting quarterback moving forward. He gives them the best opportunity to, like I said, look like an offense. But we don't need to tell, the NFL is not forcing us or telling us we need to make a decision today. So why should I tell everybody, including the Jacksonville Jaguars, that Joshua Dobbs is going to be our quarterback, even though Jacksonville is going to assume that Joshua Dobbs is going to be the quarterback coming into next week. They're going to prepare for Joshua Dobbs. But he's just playing a game that I think every NFL every NFL coach plays at this time of year. If I don't have to go out and tell you who my starter is, then I'm not. What I'm going to do is say, hey, listen, we're going to make the decision. It's going to be a hard decision, and we will let you know later on down the week. But there's no sense on a Friday after a Thursday game that I need to make a decision on who my quarterback's going to be. We know who is going to be in-house, but I'm not going to tell y'all.
I think, Derek, you're dead on. And it's one of those where it's so obvious. I can see where you're coming from, Caroline. It's like it's so obvious. Why even go through the charade?
Right.
Like Jacksonville's going to know that they're not that dumb, right? They're an unsuccessful organization for the most part over the long haul, but they can figure out that Josh Dobbs is going to start. I wonder, too, if there's a little bit of respect for Malik Willis, too. Malik Willis was probably told, we're going to go with Josh this week. We'll see how it goes, and then when we reconvene, we'll make a decision. So maybe they haven't gotten around to telling Malik Willis yet. So maybe that's a little part of it, that he wants to tell Malik Willis officially, even though the writing's on the wall, he wants to tell Malik Willis officially face-to-face before he says it publicly to the media. I think that might be part of it.
And I hear you. I hear both of you about, use every competitive advantage you have at your disposal. And dishing out who the starting quarterback is going to be next week doesn't necessarily give you that competitive edge. But that's also not a competitive edge that every team in the NFL has, because most teams in the NFL have the same starting quarterback week in and week out. So I understand the idea of Vrabel using that. And I understand, Willie, maybe they haven't had those conversations with Malik Willis and they almost went to save him. It's almost like a level of respect. But I look at it in an opposite way of, I think that opening up more speculation from the outside about who's going to be the starting quarterback and opening up more hope for Malik Willis of, if you don't come out and say, point blank, Josh Dobbs is going to be our starter, and use whatever excuse you want. I would say, if I'm Mike Vrabel, I would have already had the conversation with Malik of, look, I think we did you a disservice by starting you this early because you weren't ready, and we're going to do everything in our power to get you ready so you can learn and you can sit on the sidelines and you can learn from Ryan and you can learn from Josh Dobbs so you can be ready to help this football team next week. If you don't go ahead and squash that from the beginning, then that just opens up speculation. And let's say, Mike Vrabel says we're going to have a competition next week and best man wins. Well, they're going to go with Josh Dobbs. If they are going to do what's best for this football team, Josh Dobbs is going to be the starter. Like, we all agree. I think everybody in this city agrees. Everybody who watched that game last night agrees. Josh Dobbs is the better quarterback of the two right now. Yeah. But, if you open up speculation, then that just proves even more to me, if they continue to go with Josh Dobbs, that they don't believe in Malik Willis. And I don't think that they want to give off that message, whether it's true or not.
Well, I don't think they, at this juncture, from what they've seen, I don't think they believe he's ready yet. Now, will he ever be ready? I don't know. I wish I had a crystal ball. But And that's not the case.
Where you feel right now. Right
exactly.
now, if you had to say he can or he can't, he will not. What would you
eventually
say?
I think I would lean more toward eventually he can be a backup in this league. I don't know about him being a starter. I need to see more than what I've seen. Yeah. But he's a rookie guy. He's a rookie thrown into a unfavorable position, and he's not ready. And he showed it. He showed that he's not ready. So what do? You go out and get a guy that's a veteran guy. May not have a lot of experience, but you just believe that the places he has been, he's learned a lot, and he can bring that knowledge and that poise to this team, and they desperately need it at that position now that Ryan Tannehill is out. So I think eventually Malik can be a quarterback in this league. That's not saying he can be a starting quarterback. I'm just saying he can be a quarterback in this league, and I've seen some bad damn quarterbacks. So I think I'm qualified to say he can be a quarterback in this league eventually. But a starting quarterback, I don't know. I mean, he hadn't shown that. But right now, Joshua Dobbs is your quarterback, and he should remain your quarterback until you stop playing, because he gives you the best opportunity to win a football game.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. It's your day, so of course we'll get back into your calls, your texts. I see them lining up. We'll get into those. Plus, another thing that Mike Vrabel had to say in his press conference just now at the podium that makes me think that he is not very happy at one certain position group. We'll get into that coming up next. Chase, Willie, and D Mace, Caroline Fenton in for Chase McCabe, 102.5-106.3 The Game.
You love the game.
Predators win it in overtime. Touchdown, Tennessee.
We live the game.
My quarterback needs me to step up.
He can make a defense pay.
We are.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it was a good game. You had a couple of big plays.
The Game. Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
The Parker Store at 1909 Nolensville Road in Nashville is the Parker Factory Authorized Store for your Parker hydraulic, pneumatic, water, and chemical hose needs. They stock metric tubing and hose connections to 42 millimeters in size, and they'll fabricate while you wait up to 6,000 PSI hydraulic hoses in a 2-inch size. Call the Parker Store at 615-248-8245 for all the Parker requirements you have. The Parker Store, 1909 Nolensville Road.
Your weekend plans just got easier. Almost Friday Sporting Club is the hottest new place to watch the game and hang with your squad. Steps from Broadway with quick parking, an incredible food and drink menu, 21 screens with every game on, games, DJs, and all the fun you can handle. Come hang out at Almost Friday Sporting Club. If it's not Friday, it's Almost Friday. AlmostFridayNash.com. Commence Suckdown!
Hey, it's Chase McCabe, and every season is screwball season in my house. No matter the time of year, that rich, smooth taste just hits the spot. Y'all know Screwball. It's made with real whiskey, peanuts, and peanut butter, and it's just flat out delicious. It's my favorite. However you take it, as a shot, in an espresso martini, or a peanut butter old-fashioned, make it a Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022 Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Hello, Tennessee Power Hour listeners. My name is Hunter Briley, and I'm with Regal Realty Group.
And my name is Richard Van Clive. I'm also with Regal Realty Group.
And we are great friends that treat our clients like great friends.
Because that's how we want to be treated.
We are also born and raised here in Middle Tennessee and support our local team.
And with an economy that's affecting everything except the real estate market, it's important to do business with friends that can tell you what's what.
From contract to closing, everything in between, we have you covered. Go to regalrg.com to get started.
And happy football season.
Hiller is giving away cash for the holidays, and we are celebrating from now until the end of the year with special deals. Hiller wants to make sure every child experiences the joy of Christmas this year, so they're donating $50 in toys to Toys for Tots with every tankless water heater purchase, and giving away a $250 Visa gift card with each unit. Get a $500 Visa gift card when you buy select new HVAC systems, or a $500 Visa gift card with the purchase of any new whole home generator. More details at happyhiller.com. As always, happy you'll be, or the service is free, and these deals are only available until the end of the year. So that's Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast.
When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Live from the Game Nashville studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Robbie and Rex Road, Chase, Willie, and D Mace.
Stillman and Company. Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
Ranks and he scores!
On both sides of the one big possession.
Touchdown, Middle Tennessee.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Now let's see if we can bring them to life, all right?
Bringing you entertainment and informative sports talk during your workday.
Smart, funny, classy, and I like him a lot.
This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace with Chase McCabe, Willie Donic, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason. Presented by Hair Club. Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life. On Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. We are streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live every day. Our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, Caroline Fenton, and for Chase McCabe today, we will have Ask D Mace in 30 minutes. So make sure to get those questions in for D Mace. And remember that the best question for D Mace will win a very special prize. We'll give that away in just about 30 minutes. So get those questions in for D Mace. But first, I want to get to this, because Mike Vrabel just took the podium breaking down the Titans' loss to the Cowboys. And there was one thing in particular that he said that I think kind of struck a chord with me. And this was something, D-Mace, you and I kind of had already touched on. But this was Mike Vrabel at the podium.
Frustrated were you, I guess, with the drops and what has to happen there other than guys just simply catching the ball? You know?
Guys simply just have to catch the ball. I mean, I don't know. We had 19 jugs machines, and everybody catches them on the jugs. We just... You know, when you go out there, you only get one opportunity sometimes, and you have to hit it. And it's the same with situations on defense. You know, when a play's needed to be made, you know, to win, you have to make them.
So it kind of sounds like they are out at, Indy 500.
Like the NASCAR.
They're
I'm like,
at Talladega right there.
Are they at the fairgrounds or something?
Yes, seriously. But I think the point there is Mike Vrabel sounds really fed up with the receivers. He says, guys just need to simply catch the ball. Anyways, this was something that you and I talked about, that, Robert Woods on a crucial third down, he drops the ball, the Cowboys get the ball back, and they're able to extend their lead 10-0 from that possession. Treylon Burks on another crucial third down, ball just goes right through his hands. It sounds like, to me, Mike Vrabel is incredibly fed up with this wide receiver core and really this pass-catching core as a whole. Austin Hooper had 2 drops on third down yesterday. I mean, I know that I'm frustrated with this receiver core. Sounds like Mike Vrabel is as well.
Absolutely, he is, and rightfully so. Yeah, they made some plays out there, but they also left some plays on the field. Whether it be Robert Woods, who has dropped his share of footballs this season.
Too many to
be exact. Whether it was Austin Hooper last night, and he has come on within the last 5 weeks as one of the short-handed pass catchers that they have over the course of the last 5 weeks. And he dropped passes. Then you had Treylon Burks, who has made some big plays, but he drops a pass on third down, pass that was not a difficult catch, considering you are a first-round draft pick. You've made tougher catches. So that, to me, was a catch that is a routine catch that you need to make as the number one receiver on this team. So he's right. Those drops are drops that you can't have. Those drops are inexcusable. So you got to go out there and help out your quarterback. He just got here. He's doing his part. You got to do your part. You got to extend drives. What kills drives? Penalties and not converting on turnovers. Obviously, not converting on third down, but obviously turnovers is in there. But what truly kills drives is, penalties, pre-snap penalties, and then you dropping the football when you have an opportunity to catch it on third down. you must make those catches.
Derek, they're not really drawing a lot of pass interference. I'd like to take a look compared to other teams. I think that's another aspect. I hope down the road Burks, with his body, can start doing. I think that was a borderline call that he didn't get last night, and by the standard that the Titans defensive backs were held to, maybe he should have gotten that call. But I will give you the silver lining. At least I saw Robert Woods getting open. I haven't seen Robert Woods get open in weeks. He actually, I thought, was on the same page with Dobbs. I thought that was something that might be a positive going into next week. And Burks was as active in the game plan as I've seen him. So they've got maybe something to build off of there. I want to ask you something specific about Burks. I brought it up to you guys last night in the text. But, Derek, as you look at the mechanics of Burks, he's big, he's long. It seems to me, though, he's a little bit – there's some guys where no matter where that ball is thrown, they seem to be able to get it in stride. It looks natural when they go get it. That one that he dropped, he looked a little bit uncoordinated and unnatural, and I've seen that a few times depending on where the throw is. Can he get better on that, or is that something to watch for him down the road?
No, I think he can get better. I think it just comes with repetition. He didn't have to. I don't think he necessarily had to jump for that ball, but I think it got on him a little bit quicker than what he thought coming out of that break, and then it being, that's a difficult catch. But it's a catch he should make. If he's on the right side of the field, it all depends on, too, just giving you a little bit of insight of a receiver. It all depends on, too, what's your dominant side as a receiver? My dominant side is I'm lined up on the right side of the field because anything I'm running, breaking in, breaking out, my dominant hand is on top when I'm catching the ball, which is my left hand. Even though I'm right-handed, I feel more comfortable catching the ball, like coming at me with my left hand on top. Well, Traylon Burks, it might be a little bit different. It might be his dominant hand, might be his right hand. So, and when you get in a situation like that, you get that fast in-breaking route. It got on him a little bit quick. He didn't know how to quite adjust his hands to the ball. So it was just, he threw him up. It hit his forearm, whereas he should have caught it he should have caught it in his hands. It would have been it would have been an easier catch had he caught it with his hands, but he got up on him so fast. But again, I think that's one he needs to catch as a receiver. As the number one guy, you made harder catches. I've seen him make harder catches than that. So he must make that catch to extend drives.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, Willie, because that's something that I've noticed all season long with Traylon Burks, is he jumps up for balls that he doesn't need to jump up for. And I don't know exactly what game it was or what down and distance it was, but I've noticed it throughout the season that he'll jump up for balls and he jumps up too much and then he misses it. Mm-hmm. And those are balls that if he just stays there, keeps his feet planted, keeps his hands out, he'll be able to catch. But I don't know if that's it's a rookie thing and you get excited, overly excited that you jump up for it when you might not really have to, or if that's something that he was taught that he'll have to unlearn. But to your point, Willie, about sometimes he just doesn't have his body completely placed in the right spot. And I've noticed that he'll jump up for balls. He did it last night. One of the balls that he dropped on third down, he jumped up for it and missed it. And he didn't really need to do that. So is that something that you can unlearn?
Yeah. It looks a little unnatural
to
me. There are certain guys where it just looks so natural. They are able to adjust and just find ways to make it look so smooth. It's like his upper body's not quite coordinated with his lower body. He's fighting the ball a little bit as it comes in. If he can get a little bit better at that, I think that will make a difference with some of these catches. But I like the fact that he's getting open, and then he runs aggressively. That end around he made, I just love how he attacks the field. You can see what they saw in him in a first-round pick. I just would have loved to see him play, 14 or 15 games to this point and not have all of this missed time. But nothing you can do about that now. And the good thing is he looks like he's healthy and he'll be reasonably confident going into next week.
Well, he showed you in the time that he has played when he hasn't been injured. He's shown you, or at least he's shown me, that he's the number one receiver. Now he's going to have to get a little bit better at certain, some of the nuances of being a receiver, and that comes with experience. But he's shown me enough that I believe that if he stays healthy, he's a number one receiver. That catch and run he made on the sideline right before the half that put the Tennessee Titans in a position to kick a field goal, that was all Traylon Burks. I mean, Dobbs delivered the ball to the side. Yeah, that was all Traylon Burks. And that's just a glimpse, I believe, of who he can be and what he can do once they get the right pieces in place. That meaning the offensive coordinator, some other players. Ryan Tannehill gets back healthy and fully ready to go. That offensive line, if they can get the pieces put together, this can be a special kid.
And I think too with Traylon Burks, we can nitpick a lot of the decisions that he's made, because there have been balls, not just last night, but all season long, that I'm like, look, dude, you got to catch those. But to Mike Vrabel's point about, you need to come down with those balls, I do wonder how much of that is geared toward, the entire pass catching group as a whole, which I do think there's a good bit of truth to that. But I think the most obvious one is Robert Woods.
Yeah. And
what they decide to do with Robert Woods moving forward. Like I said earlier, he is on the hook for almost $14 million next year. And it sounds like Mike Vrabel's not thrilled with the pass-catching group.
Well, if you bring him back.
Especially for that much money.
Yeah, you can't bring him back for.
You can't bring him
you can't even bring him back for half of that. It has to be in the range of, hey, listen, we're going to sign you to a 2-year deal worth about $8 million and you're our number 3. Because we have to go out and get a number 2. Yeah. That's just, it's plain and simple. You're not our number 2, but you can be a damn good number 3 for us in this offense. But we need to get somebody to truly complement Traylon Burks.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. It is your day. It's a Titans Reaction Friday, so we'll get right back into your phones, your calls, your texts. 615-737-1025. Chase, Willie, and D Mace, presented by Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life, creating custom hair loss solutions for men and women. 1025-1063, The Game. And also, Willie wants to tell you about Loan Pronto.
All right, let's do that before I say goodbye to you guys today until the new year, and looking forward to what's to come with Caroline joining us full time. So looking forward to that, Caroline, and let's root the Predators on these next couple of days. I'm out here in Anaheim. I'll be heading over to the rink here soon. But let me tell you about what Loan Pronto has in mind for you to kick off 2023. And how about not having any credit card debt? If you've had it building up a little bit and you want to get that down to zero, you can do it with Loan Pronto's Express Equity line of credit. Wipe out the credit cards right now. Rates are down. This is a great move to get on more solid financial footing for the new year. You don't have to do all the full home refi. You can tap a portion of the equity you have and enjoy a rate that's a whole lot less than what the banks charge on credit cards. So get that credit card down to zero and get moving with the Express Equity credit line from Loan Pronto. You can access up to 95% of your home's equity, and most people don't even have to do the appraisal. Keep that main loan intact and get the cash you need. Call Loan Pronto now at 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
The college football season never stops. ESPN college football analyst Trevor Manich joins Stillman and Company every Tuesday at 4:30.
They've got to do what Nick Saban in Alabama has done so successfully over the last 10 years.
Presented by Houston Clinic Orthopedics on Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Oil Fire Whiskey. You will like it. She will love it. It's dangerously seductive. Celebrate New Year's Eve at Rebar at the Dam. Ring in your Nashville New Year with live music from Backlit performing on stage. As always, watch all the big games on the giant video walls and multiple TVs. Advance tickets on sale now. Single $15, couples $25. Rebar at the Dam. Why fight the downtown crowds when you have a party right in your own backyard? Plenty of free, well-lit parking. Rebar at the Dam, just off Stewart's Ferry Pike. It's a damn good time.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Get everyday banking with a better vibe. A vibe that feels like you woke up on the right side of the bed, found the perfect parking spot, or found your keys where you left them. Get the NetSpend All Access account. Reinventing modern, everyday mobile banking with perks that add up. Banking services provided by Pathward NA. Get started today at netspend.com. Deposit account is established by Pathward NA, member FDIC. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am Hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
312 Pizza Company is the official sponsor and location of Southeastern Carolines with Caroline Fenton.
I love this show.
Never miss a moment of the show.
Okay, all right, okay.
Subscribe to the Chase, Willie, and D Mace podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm ready to step this up a notch.
You're listening to Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app.
Chase, Willie, D Mace, 1025, 1063 The Game. And hey, play Silly Underdog Picks today. Pick 3 football underdog teams that you think will win this week for a chance to win great prizes. Play now at thegamenashville.com or the 1025 The Game app. Silly Underdog Picks is presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket and Superbook Sports. Voted #1 sportsbook in Vegas. Download their app today. Again, the Titans falling to the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football 27-13. And hey, I'm taking it as a moral victory, whether you believe in those or not. I thought the Titans were going to get blown out 75-3, and I will take 27-13. But Mike Vrabel just took the podium post-game press conference, and there was one thing that really stood out to me, if we have that ready, Nick. And Teresa Walker asked him a question about like getting guys ready, getting guys healthy. And I think that Week 17, at least in the Titans' eyes, I viewed it as, let's look at Week 17 and prepare for Week 18. Let's keep Jeffrey Simmons out of the game. Let's keep Derrick Henry out of the game. 2 guys that are probably a little bit banged up, but rest them, let them get another week of rest, and then head into Week 18. And not just those 2 guys, but the rest of the roster that is just completely battered. But here was Mike Vrabel and Teresa Walker's question.
How much did the approach maybe of this week and having now a weekend to rest help get this team a little bit healthier for this final game?
Well, I mean, it should. It should. And again, I have a lot of appreciation for the way that everybody handled last week. I know it was different and unique, but it was the situation. And again, we can't avoid distractions. The only thing we can do is how we handle them. I thought everybody was prepared. I thought they played hard, not without mistake. I thought we beat ourselves too many times to win the football game. But, I thought guys were ready to go. I thought they, executed at times. Looked like exactly like we needed to do to win. Just unfortunate that it wasn't consistent enough and we made too many mistakes.
There you go. And that was Mike Vrabel at the podium just now. And then Mike Vrabel goes on to say, even though he mentions, hey, guys were prepared, they went out and fought, which I don't disagree with. I thought that they went out there last night and they played a good game. They played a tough game. They made too many mistakes, had over 100 yards of penalties. That needs to be cleaned up. They dropped some balls that absolutely needed to be caught. That needs to be cleaned up. But I think overall, the effort and the toughness and the fight, that was there last night. But Mike Vrabel went on to say, we can't just show up. Can't just be there on game day, and we can't just show up. You need to be prepared. You need to be doing things behind the scenes that help this football team. So my question to that was, who's just showing up?
Yeah, you wonder, or is he just saying that just in case guys are thinking about being a minute late or whatnot, or thinking about not lifting weights the day they're supposed to lift, or making an excuse on why not to show up for that second round of treatments. So he's trying to be proactive. One thing that did strike me when he was talking, he mentioned distractions. He said we can't afford we can't avoid distractions. We just got to learn how to how to handle them. I think that's a shot at what's been going on. I truly think it. It's like, listen, these distractions are coming, or they are here. We can't avoid it. They're here. It wasn't because of our doing, like the players doing. It happened, but now we have to learn how to work through those distractions. So,
and what distractions exactly? Because would you consider injuries distractions?
Nah, injuries are not really distractions. Injuries are a part of football.
They're a part of football.
They're going to happen.
Aren't exclusive to the Titans. Unfortunately, It's been plaguing the Titans a little bit more than it has other teams in the league. But I understand that the idea of injuries and having to overcome the loss of your starting running back, of your starting quarterback, of some of your top pass rushers, and just across the board. But what distractions exactly?
Well, the only distractions I know, Willie, of is firing
the
general manager and the offensive coordinator getting in the situation that he was in. Those are the only distractions that I know of, unless there's things that are happening, within the locker room, which there probably is. I'm not saying good nor bad, but there are probably things that are happening inside the locker room that we don't know about. I can sit here and tell you truthfully, there were things that happened in the locker rooms that I was a part of that never saw the day of light, that may have been a distraction, may have not. We worked our way through that. And I think that's what Vrabel is talking about. Whatever distractions that are going on, we can't avoid them, but we got to learn how to work through them. So I don't think it had anything to do with, at least I don't think it does, or hope. In regards to the injuries, the injuries are going to happen.
The injuries happen.
Yeah, injuries are a part of football. So you already in your mind know that at least 2 or 3 people are going to get hurt during the season on this team. And it might be the 2 or 3 guys that we need. So we got to learn how to work through that. But as far as that being a distraction, I don't know if that's truly a distraction or not. So, have guys been walking in late? Have guys
Jeffrey
been
Simmons said so.
Pushing, have guys been getting the treatment at the times they're supposed to get them? Have guys been in the weight room at the times that they're supposed to get them? Because say if your weight room time was at, just say 9 o'clock. Well, you didn't show up at 9. You put it off till after practice. Well, do you usually do that? Do you usually put it off until practice? Because if you don't, why are you doing it now?
Right.
Don't nothing change. If you're meant to be there at 9, be there at 9. Or if you're meant to have treatment at 8 o'clock, don't tell me, well, I can do it in between meetings, or I can do it later on. I'm going to get my treatment before I go out of practice. No. Have you been doing it at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 7 o'clock in the morning, or 6 throughout the season? Yeah. Don't change it now. So do those things that you are accustomed to doing. Don't change because of the situation we're in.
I go back to that Jeffrey Simmons post-game press conference, or just, standing in the locker room. He said, guys can't show up late. Well, are guys showing up late?
Exactly.
That doesn't seem like something that you would say if guys weren't actually showing up late. And Mike Vrabel mentioning distractions, maybe it was coach speak. Maybe it was, we got to eliminate distractions, got to go out there and execute. But if there weren't distractions that Mike Vrabel didn't think were actually hurting this football team, then why would he bring that up? When Teresa Walker asks him about momentum going into Week 18 and getting guys rested and the injuries, why talk about distractions? Why talk about, we can't just show up and just show up on the field, and we can't just play poorly. We've got to go out there, we've got to be prepared, we've got to do our jobs, and we've got to do our jobs well. If guys aren't doing that already, then why would he feel the need to say that? I go back to last week when Mike Vrabel said, this isn't an 8 to 5 job. Were there guys that were treating it like an 8 to 5 job? Why say that when there aren't guys that are, working overtime and doing what they need to do and showing up on time? So a lot of things over the last few weeks, from Vrabel, from Byard, from Jeffrey Simmons, that there are guys that are, 1, distracted, and 2, not doing their jobs.
Yeah, because you're not going to say, if you are a good third down team, if you went, say 5 for 5 on third down, it's your pass game, you're not going to then get up to the podium and say, well, we got to convert on third down. Well, last I checked, coach, y'all were 5 for 5 on third down. Where did that come from? So coaches don't do that. Typically, something happens that makes them say the things that they're saying. Listen, Vrabel could just be throwing that out there to make sure guys don't do that. But he hasn't. I don't think he's done that before, so why do it now? But, I mean, whatever distractions they may have, or if guys are not coming in early like they're supposed to, whatever is going on, they need to get it straightened out. It needs not filter throughout the building. Whoever those guys are, they need to be checked and put back, on the right path, because this last game, they're going to need their undivided attention. They're going to need their ultimate focus to win this game, because, listen, without Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, it's going to be difficult. I know Josh played really good last night, but without your starting quarterback, it's going to be difficult. So we need all hands on deck. We need all minds on deck, meaning everybody needs to be centered in on this one task. We don't need to be worrying about everything else.
Which is why I think it would have been wise for Mike Vrabel to just come out and say that Josh Dobbs is going to be the starter on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I hear you. It is hard whenever Ryan Tannehill isn't, when your starting quarterback is out. But doesn't it help when you know who your starting quarterback will be? Whenever everyone is focused and saying, okay, Josh is our guy. Josh is starting on Sunday.
Oh, they know who
Let's
their starting
focus on
quarterback
Josh.
is. The team knows it.
Then why not say it?
He's just not going to say it.
Why? I mean,
he would tell us.
The message to the team is, hey, we got a really tough decision to make. We're going to make our decision in practice this week. I mean, why not just come out and say, Josh Dobbs is our starting quarterback. We're going to move forward with Josh Dobbs. He's our quarterback. We're going to miss Ryan. We're going to eliminate distractions. So if you want to eliminate distractions, just go ahead and name your starting quarterback.
Well, Malik Willis knows that, judging by last night, what he's seen as a player on this team, and if he's being honest with himself, which he has no reason not to be, he understands that at this juncture of his career and this juncture of the season, Joshua Dobbs gives them the best opportunity to win.
Does he know that?
I think he does.
Because your head coach is saying he's not saying that.
Yeah, the head coach is that's just from a strategic standpoint. Everybody in that building knows who the starting quarterback is. The players know that Joshua Dobbs, unless something happens in practice where he can't play because of injury, everybody in that locker room knows that Joshua Dobbs is quarterback. If you do not start Joshua Dobbs come Wednesday, well, if they play on Saturday, then they go in Tuesday, Monday would be their day off. Well, yeah. I forget today is Friday. I'm thinking today is Sunday.
Whenever they play.
Whenever they do go back to practice.
Yeah.
Depending on when they play, those guys know that Joshua Dobbs will take the first team reps. Everybody in that building knows it. Those players know it. And if it doesn't happen, those veterans are now looking at you like, what in the hell are you doing?
Why are you hurting this
exactly
football team?
So he can tell us what he want to tell us, and I know why he's telling us this, because what he says in that microphones get filtered all the way down to Jacksonville.
But why would it matter?
Because it's just a cat and mouse game. He wants them to prepare for both Malik Willis and Joshua Dobbs. I mean, if Jacksonville was in the same situation, they would do it to us. They would do, they would say, well, we don't know who our quarterback is. We're still working on it. Yes, he played a good game, but we're still evaluating it.
But I'll tell you this. I mean, okay, but Bucks Panthers playing this weekend for the NFC South, for the division. Let's say the Panthers are still in a quarterback carousel. Let's say Baker Mayfield's still on that roster. So it could be Sam Darnold, it could be PJ Walker, it could be Baker Mayfield. Do you think that the Panthers have an advantage over Tom Brady and the Buccaneers just because you don't know who's starting on Sunday?
It's not necessarily Tom Brady that they want the advantage over. It's that defensive side of the ball. If I got to make you prepare an extra 30 minutes, then that's time you're taking away from other things, So I'm going to make you prepare an extra 30 minutes for this quarterback that is not going to play, but I'm not going to tell you he's not going to play. So go ahead and prepare for every little thing that you've seen, because that takes away from you preparing strictly and solely for Joshua Dobbs. So I don't know who my quarterback going to be. It's going to be a hard decision, man. I'm not going to get no sleep tonight, man. I told the wife I'm going to sleep on the couch because this decision is too hard.
Sit and stew on a quarterback who threw for almost 250 yards, which Malik Willis
he knows who the quarterback's going to be.
Just say it, Mike. We all know it. Don't create distractions. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Ask D Mace coming up next. The best question for D Mace will win 2 tickets to Nick Cannon at the National Municipal Auditorium on Sunday, March 19th. Get those questions in, your calls, your texts. Ask D Mace, Chase, Willie, and D Mace 1025-1063, The Game.
ESPN Titans NFL Nation reporter Teron Davenport brings knowledge.
3 touchdowns. He was processing, getting rid of the ball quickly.
Passion.
Make no mistake about it. He absolutely has to hit the ground running.
And expertise on the two-tone blue and the NFL. Join TD every Monday at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Friday morning at 8 for all the latest on your favorite team. Teron Davenport is presented by Crane Works on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
All right, my time to come in here and tell you about Hair Club, because I've been talking about them for a while now, and, you know, I have some thinning out, some power outages, as I like to call them, upstairs, and I love my hair. I love my look. It is important to me, so I wanted to do something about it. That's why I called Hair Club. No matter what the issue is, whether it's restoration, regrowth, small problems, big problems, whatever it is, they have answers, and they have answers specifically made for you. All you need to do is go in for a free consultation, and they'll help you out with whatever your hair situation may be. Hair Club has a solution. Fill out the form at hairclub.com/chase. That's my name, CHASE, to schedule your free consultation, and they'll give you 10% off anything that you happen to purchase just because you listen to me and I sent you. Or you can text Chase, my name, to 694-247. That's 694-247 for Hair Club. Love your hair, live your life.
Want to kick off the new year without any credit card debt? If that sounds good to you, you can do it with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit. Wipe out all those credit card bills right now. Hey, Willie Donic here. Rates are down, and it's a great move to get on more solid financial footing for the new year. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a portion of the equity you have and enjoy a rate that's a whole lot less than what the banks charge on credit cards. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days. You can access up to 95% of your home's equity. Use that money to pay off those high-interest credit card loans of any type. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, whatever. Consolidate everything into one easy payment. Even if you did a whole total refi last year, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program and keep your main loan intact. Call Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Now is a fantastic time to sell in Nashville, but you can't do it without the intel. And no one has better intel than the Gary Ashton team. You may be wondering, what is this intel I keep hearing about? Intel so you can sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel on where to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel that helps you win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Everyone else is getting the same information and competing for the same properties. GaryAshton.com gives you the edge with the best real estate intel in Nashville. No one else even comes close. Plus, the Gary Ashton team is the official real estate agent for the Preds. Get the confidence to sell your home and find your dream address without the stress. Call the Gary Ashton team with RE/MAX Advantage today at 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com. And remember, don't sell without the intel.
It's electric in Smashville. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 429 has a new path to a dignified career. Local 429 is accepting applications for the highest skilled electricians and linemen and is providing the best training in Middle Tennessee. They are the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 429. Call them at 615-889-4429 or go online to IBEW429.org. IBEW Local 429, your proud seventh man since the beginning. Go Preds.
Hey, it's Hutton. Interest rates are rising, but not at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Replace your old unit fast before new regulations increase prices up to 20%. Get a new unit today at today's price and receive up to $1,500 off, or get 18 months of no payments. So the first payment is not until spring of 2024. At Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, all new systems come with a 10-year parts and labor warranty. Schedule your appointment now at springhillac.com. That's springhillac.com.
Hey, let's get brunch. How long is the wait? Tired of the same old brunch spots? 2 words. Bottomless Brunch. That's right. Almost Friday is the newest sporting club in downtown Nashville, and they're ready to help you elevate your weekend. All you can eat and drink while you watch the game, play flip cup, pong, or other games, and turn it up with their DJs. There's no other place in Nashville like it. If it's not Friday, it's almost Friday. Reserve your table now at almostfridaynash.com. It's always Almost Friday at Almost Friday Sporting Club.
TSU basketball lives on 102.1 The Ville. Join Coach Brian Petty Collins and the Tigers for every great moment in the OVC. On your home for TSU basketball, 102.1 The Ville and the Ville app.
Hey, this is Philip Forsberg. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
D Mace. He played 15 years in the NFL.
Quick throw. Touchdown, Derek Mason.
He had over 12,000 receiving yards.
Midfield, and there he goes. 80 yards for the touchdown.
And now you can ask him anything. Have a question about football or life? Now's your time to ask D Mace.
We'll welcome you in.
Now on Chase, Willie, and
D Mace.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Ask D Mace. Get your questions in for Derek Mason. Calls, texts, football, life, anything that you want to ask, get those in. Remember that the best question for D Mace will win a pair of tickets to see Nick Cannon at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium on Sunday, March 19th. Let's get into it. John is up next with a question for D Mace. What's up, John?
Hey, guys. D Mace, I got a question. You were a receiver, really good receiver in the league for a long time. What is it about having a receiver, and I kind of use Traylon Burks here as an example about, how important is it for a receiver just to have that dog in him, there was a lot of talk in the summer about, Traylon Burks, having problems with asthma or whatever, or not being in camp in tip-top physical shape, but just how important is it for a receiver to have that dog in him to just be successful?
Thank you, John. I speak on this a lot, and it's DAWG, not DOG. It's a mentality. It's a way of going about your job. It's a belief that I am the best player on this field. It's a belief that I'm not going to back down from any and everything. I will not. I will keep coming and coming and coming. And when you think that it stopped, I'm going to come right back at you again. It's the willingness to fight through things, whether it be injury, you're hurt, the circumstance in the game. It's not backing down. It's getting bigger than what you actually are. That's being a dog. I've seen guys that I wish had dog in them, and they don't. You can't teach it. It has to be something that's in that basically it has to be a part of your DNA. For me, it was growing up with 3 older brothers, and playing the sport in the street of Detroit, like literally playing in the streets, playing with plastic 2-liter Coke bottles when we didn't have footballs, playing with, our sister's teddy bear, taping it up with electrical tape to make it a little bit heavier, going out there and never quitting. That's what developed that dog in me. Like, my brothers would tell me, you're not leaving until you score. You're not leaving until you do this. I didn't like it back then, but it made me the player who I am now. You can't learn that as an adult. That's something that you just can't learn. That has to be ingrained in you when you're younger in the sport. And I can Traylon has it. I thought AJ had it. I thought Corey had it. He just needed to be more assertive. And I think Traylon has it now. And you see it on occasions. So I just want to see it more.
And I think it's one of those things, too. You either have it or you don't.
Exactly.
You're not going to be, well, sometimes you see this receiver be incredibly physical, and we're going to see him go up for contested catches and understand and know in his mind, I'm going to come down with this football. It's not an on and off thing. You just have it or you don't.
Yeah, it's just, it's part of your DNA. It's part of who you are. It's like, no matter what, I'm going to compete. That's one thing that's going to happen no matter what. We may be losing 100-0, but I'm still competing. And if I do something great, I'm going to let you know I'm doing something great. Just because it's 100-0 doesn't mean I'm stopping.
Ron texts in with a question for D Mace. Has Byard been playing off script and freely lately in the past few games? He seems to always be in the right place at the right time. Certainly was last night.
Yeah, I just think he studies extremely well. He studies extremely hard. I've played with defensive players, in particular defensive backs, that study the game like a coach studies the game like a defensive coordinator, whether it was Blaine Bishop, Mark Robb, whether it was Ed Reed. He's in that mode of players in the sense of he knows the game backwards and forwards, but it's not like he's stopping. He's continuing to get in the playbook. No matter how much he knows, he wants to know more. He wants to be. It's sort of like the Peyton Manning of the defense, whereas Peyton Manning dissected everything before the ball was snapped. He knew exactly what you were going to do. That's why he was so successful. He was always one step ahead of you, sometimes two. Kevin Byard plays that way. He's a lot of times, more times than not, he's one step ahead of what you're doing. That's why he's in a position a lot. It's not like he's freelancing. He studies enough to put himself in a position to know your tendencies.
Coming up next, right back into your phones, your questions for D Mace. Ask D Mace is brought to you by Curation CBD. Find their healing products at CurationCompany.com. Curation CBD products curated for life. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
At some point, it's a combination of who did you play and what does your skill set look like.
Get the best analysis of the big stories in the sports world with ESPN's Jason Fitz.
If you reach for a quarterback in the draft because you need one, you're going to set your franchise back 5 years.
Join Fitzy every Wednesday at 4:30. Presented by Blood Assurance. Jason Fitz.
I am 5'9.5"
on ESPN
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. A warm day ahead of us. Temperatures easily in the low to middle 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds increase throughout the day and a chance for a few scattered showers this afternoon through this evening. All of that rain wraps up by the middle of your New Year's Eve.
Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Oil Fire Whiskey. You will like it. She will love it. It's dangerously seductive.
Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House invites you to join them for this year's college football bowl games and playoff action. Georgia, Michigan, TCU, or Ohio State, who will be the last one standing? Boomba's has countless big screen TVs and the biggest video wall in Nashville at their East Nashville location. So watch it all go down and enjoy their 2-time award-winning Best Pizza in America, featured on the Food Network and 100% crafted for you. Wash it all down with their award-winning happy hour with $2 Boom Brews and select domestic pints. Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House in East Nashville, 1003 Russell Street, Pizza, Beer, Sports. See you there, Nashville.
Joe Rexrode here for OrderGreen.com. Listen, to do the job I do, got to stay on the move at all times. Lots of travel, early mornings. Sometimes it can catch up with you. And when it does, I always enjoy natural and enjoyable ways to de-stress my mind and body. That's why I use a high-quality, wide selection of THC and CBD products from OrderGreen.com. It's not just me. Lots of my friends are on the bandwagon here, including a sick family friend of ours who has gotten great benefits. OrderGreen.com. You subscribe, you save 25% off shipments of gummies, or use promo code Joe20 for 20% off your first purchase. OrderGreen.com.
Hey, it's Mike from Newton Nissan. I love this time of year. Christmas music, big meals, and maybe even a little snow. There's just something in the air. I don't know about you guys, but I have my leg lamp in the window and my moose glass for eggnog. I'm ready to kick off these holidays right. At Newton, we want to help you kick off the holidays right by helping spread the holiday spirit. And trust me, we have a lot of holiday spirit. We love helping customers find ways to surprise their loved ones with a new car. Can you imagine the look in their face Christmas morning? And if you aren't sure you're on the good list, we can put in a good word with the big guy. Don't be a Scrooge. Change your car buying experience in Newton and find out how we can help you start off the holidays with a new car. We have more new cars in stock right now than we've had any time in the past year. It's like a Christmas miracle. Kind of. Shop at newtonnissan.com to find your next car today.
Hey, it's Jared from my official sportsbook app, the FanDuel Sportsbook app. One of the things you got to love about betting on the NFL is there are always new players or game props for you to choose from. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout, which is perfect for this week's action. So many good games as the NFL is heading down to the home stretch, and you can combine those bets as well. FanDuel is easy to use. It's easy to register, easy to deposit, and easy to find your bet. And when you win, FanDuel will pay you your winnings quickly. That's why you got to love FanDuel. There's no feeling like nailing a same-game parlay, so lock in your bet today on FanDuel. If you're new to FanDuel, sign up with the promo code JGM for your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's promo code JGM and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
Jared Stillman.
This is a team that the entire city is losing their minds over.
Caroline Fenton.
It's one of the youngest teams in the league. They don't have a single player over the age of 30.
Stillman and Company. Afternoons from 2 to 6.
Presented by TriStar Moving.
On Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app. This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and on the Game Nashville app. D Mace. He played 15 years in the NFL.
A quick throw. Touchdown, Derek Mason.
He had over 12,000 receiving yards.
Midfield, and there he goes. 80 yards for the touchdown.
And now you can ask him anything. Have a question about football or life? Now's your time to ask D Mace.
We'll welcome you in.
Now on Chase, Willie, and
D Mace.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Ask D Mace is brought to you by Curation CBD. Find their healing products at CurationCompany.com. Curation CBD products curated for life. Let's get back into your questions for D Mace. Remember, the best question for D Mace wins a pair of tickets to see Nick Cannon at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium on Sunday, March 19th. So, another question for D Mace. One texter says, I know players train themselves to tune out the noise, but as a Titans player, what do you think that they thought about the Let's Go Cowboys chants in the stadium last night?
I don't think the team thought anything about it. I mean, when you're in it, you're playing and you're in it. It's crazy, but you don't. A lot of stuff you just don't hear when you're so dialed in and tuned in to what you're doing. A lot of stuff you just don't hear. Crowd chanting and stuff like that. All of it just becomes just noise. It's almost like white noise. Like, yeah, they're saying something, but there's so many people are saying the same thing that it sort of just blends in. It just sounds like exactly. That's all you hear. You don't hear a distinct "Let's Go Cowboys" or whatever else fans choose to chant, especially when you're in the midst of a play. You're not paying attention to that. So, I mean, there may have been a point on the sideline when you're sitting around. You may have heard it, but I mean, these guys have heard worse. They
probably say worse to each other.
Absolutely. On the field. So the cowboy chant didn't mean anything. I don't think. I wasn't at the game, so I don't know the ratio of Cowboy fans to Titans fans. But on television, it didn't seem like it was a packed house.
Let's go to Jerry with a question for D Mace. What's up, Jerry?
Hello, D Mace.
Hey, what's going on?
My question is, who was your
favorite teacher or principal that shaped you into the diamond that you turned into?
Oh man, teacher, principal. Wow, that's a good one. I've had a lot of people that were in my younger years instrumental in the things that I've did through college and the adult. But for me, it was just my family. When you have older brothers, you have a lot of siblings. Y'all tend to sort of feed off one another, and you learn from your big brother's mistakes when he gets in trouble, and then you learn, well, I don't need to do that, or if I do it, I better do it a different way. And then my parents, my dad was a military guy, and so he was black and white with him. It's either you do it this way or you get in trouble. It wasn't no middle grounds, at least not when I was coming up. Now, he got a little bit more lax with the younger siblings as they got a little older. But
perks of being the youngest
absolutely.
Yeah.
But, Coach Lynch, I would say, in high school, because he was the guy that he sort of grabbed me, not physically, but grabbed me by my collar and said, you're coming out and playing football. And this was, 11th grade year? Because before then, I didn't want to play. I played enough. I felt I played enough with my brothers. I didn't want to get hit. I thought I was a basketball player and run track. But he saw something in me that my brothers saw. And, it was almost like he pushed me out on the football field, and the rest is history. So a lot of it, Coach Lynch, Skip Pete, Charlie Baggett. There's been a bunch of coaches, whether it be on the football field or teachers, that have, helped me sort of align my goals up with, things that are tangible. And that's why I'm in the situation that I'm in now in regards to the things that I'm able to do or the things that I have done in my career.
Jabari texts in with a question for D Mace. Is drawing a PI an art, or based on team scheme, passing teams, quarterbacks, get benefit of the doubt? Fitting theme, considering there was a good bit of...
I think it's both. I think it's an art because, sometimes, and I know people look at the Traylon Burks pass interference. It was pass interference.
It was.
But you don't know what angle the ref or judge is in. Typically, people, they say, well, the ref was right there. Well, that ref might not be responsible for that player, those two players, or that side of the field. There's refs and umpires. They are designated to cover certain people or the offensive line or the quarterback that one guy is. So
I do think, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe it was the same ref that called that 51-yard PI that didn't call the Traylon Burks PI.
But if you look at the play, it was almost a good play by the defensive back from this standpoint. I don't think the ref saw it. I don't think he saw. I think he saw initially both of them fighting and jockeying for position, but I don't think he saw at the end, like toward the final part where he sort of put his arm in there and pulled it down a little bit. I think what he saw was they were jockeying for position, fighting each other,
which was fair,
and then he just didn't catch the ball. That's what I think the ref saw. I don't think he saw the arm being pulled down because of the angle he was at. It was a pass interference, but sometimes the refs just don't see it. So I don't know. It is an art because you got to know how to throw your hands up and be a little bit more dramatic. We always talk about soccer players and how dramatic they are.
Flopping.
Yeah, well, sometimes in situations like that, watch the great receivers. Watch Stephon Diggs and those guys. They get touched a little bit and they can't catch the ball. They throw their hands in the air and fall down. Either you're going to call it or you're not. Exactly. You got to sell it.
And the same thing I saw from Roger McCreary last night when he was called for that first PI. He threw his hands up before they even called PI. I was like, Roger, don't act guilty.
You knew you did something.
Don't act
But don't let everybody in the stands know you did something. Just walk away like nothing happened.
Like, wasn't me. Last one for you, D Mace. Andrew from Dover has a question for you. Says, do you think Chig will be an elite tight end or has the ability to be?
I think he has the ability to be. He has the potential to be one. But, potential is a scary word because potential can get you fired as a head coach or a position coach because you're holding on a little bit too long to a player that you should have released because of you think he's going to finally get it because of his potential. But I don't think that's the case with Chig Okonkwo. I think Chig has proven that he can be a playmaker in this league. He's one of the most demonstrative running tight ends in the National Football League. When this guy gets his hands on the ball, he's looking to score and score at will. Like, I'm looking to run people over and run through people just to get to the end zone. So I think Chig, if he stays healthy, again, it all depends on it all depends on coaching. Mm-hmm. If they choose to stick with Downey, some things has to change. But they're going to have to get a coordinator, or Downey's going to have to do something to involve Chig Okonkwo and his skill set, because at this point they haven't used his skill set enough. This kid can be a dynamic player if they just use him the right way.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. That was Ask D Mace. Now, coming up next, we'll chat with Eddie George, TSU head coach, Titans great. We'll get his thoughts on the Titans game last night, what they have moving forward into that important Week 18 game against the Jags. All that coming up next. Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
You love the game.
Tennessee touchdown! Middle Tennessee gets the score.
We live the game.
Just work on the little things every day.
They think the coaches are just coaches.
We are.
Grant City scores!
On both sides of the ball.
One big possession.
Touchdown, Middle Tennessee.
The Game. Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Give the gift of luxury this holiday season. Nothing is more elegant than a trip to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Gift cards from Bob's Steakhouse or Mocara Day Spa make wonderful gifts for any occasion, especially during the holidays. The foodie in your life will enjoy an evening of fine dining from the award-winning Bob's Steakhouse. Bob's Steakhouse specializes in serving big, flavorful steaks next to Texas-sized portions of delicious sides. The special person in your life will be comforted with the gift of relaxation and rejuvenation when they receive a gift card to Mocara Day Spa. Let the spoiling begin with a soothing facial, hot stone massage, body treatment, salon service, or mani-pedi. Bob's Steakhouse and Mocara Day Spa in the luxurious Omni Nashville Hotel. Purchase your gift cards today.
Want to kick off the new year without any credit card debt? If that sounds good to you, you can do it with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit. Wipe out all those credit card bills right now. Hey, Willie Donic here. Rates are down, and it's a great move to get on more solid financial footing for the new year. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a portion of the equity you have and enjoy a rate that's a whole lot less than what the banks charge on credit cards. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days. You can access up to 95% of your home's equity. Use that money to pay off those high-interest credit card loans of any type. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, whatever. Consolidate everything into one easy payment. Even if you did a whole total refi last year, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program and keep your main loan intact. Call Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Hey, it's Jared. Are you looking to move? If so, do yourself a favor and reach out to my friends at TriStar Moving. You can be assured your move will be stress-free because they've got new utility vans to help with pack jobs to separate your high-value or fragile items from the bulk of your furniture, and their movers are carefully picked and highly trained. No one in the game is doing this. TriStar Moving is raising the standard in the moving industry. When you're ready to move, give them a call. TriStar Moving, 615-640-1219, or online at nationalmoving.org/radio, and tell them Jared Stillman referred you for 10% off. That's TriStar Moving.
Shop limited time deals at the Truckload event at Lowe's, happening now. Save big on your favorites across the store. During this event, get up to 50% off select tools and accessories. Plus, find the perfect floor tile for your home for less. Get up to 50% off select styles while you can. Head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the Truckload event today. Valid 12/29 through 1/25 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowes.com for details. Discount taken at time of purchase.
Today, your Nashville Predators hit the road to take on the Anaheim Ducks. Coverage begins at 3 on your home for Smashville. WPRT FM Pegram, WBUC HD2 Laverne, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
These are battles, these are grinds. We don't panic, we don't freak out. That's how we're built. 1, 2, 3, 9.
This is your drive to the playoffs update, presented by Coleman Tractor, Tennessee's largest Kubota dealer, on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Titans fall to the Cowboys 27-13 in Nissan Stadium for Thursday Night Football. That's the 6th straight loss for the Tennessee Titans, but their future in the playoffs this year will come down to Week 18. Josh Dobbs had his first NFL start at quarterback for the Titans, and Mike Vrabel said he thought he did well considering he just joined the team about a week ago.
8 days or 9 days, I think he was excited for this opportunity, get his first start. And I think something that we've always said that, since I've been here, is that it doesn't really matter how you end up here or how you get here. The only thing that matters is what you do when you're here. And we've had a lot of guys, take advantage of those opportunities. And, I think Josh wanted to try to do, the best that he could. Unfortunately, we lost, and I'm sure we'd like to have the interception back, but did some good things, just not well enough.
The Titans have a little extra rest before they head down to Jacksonville to see who will take the AFC South. This report is presented by Coleman Tractor. I'm Michelle Knesvik for 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Now let's see if we can bring them to life, all right?
Bringing you entertainment and informative sports talk during your workday.
Smart, funny, classy, and I like him a lot.
This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace with Chase McCabe, Willie Donic,
Mason, touchdown, Tennessee.
and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason. Presented by Hair Club. Hair Club. Love your hair. Live your life. On Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Chase, Willie, D Mace, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are streaming live on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live every day. Our video streaming is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, Caroline Fenton, in for Chase McCabe today. Normally, TSU head coach, Titans great Eddie George joins us on Fridays at 1 o'clock. We'll catch up with Eddie later on in the show, later on next week. But I want to get to this. The Titans fall to the Cowboys 27-13, the Titans' 6th loss in a row. But I've said it all day. I said it yesterday, and I'll reiterate it again. I don't step away from the 6th loss in a row. I don't step away from this loss against the Cowboys with my head held low for a couple of reasons. One, this game was so much closer than the Titans had any business of making it. Jeffrey Simmons out. Bud Dupree out. Of course, Harold Landry out. Derrick Henry sat this game. Like I mentioned, Jeffrey Simmons sat this game. I mean, you had maybe a handful of starters playing in that game last night. The offensive line was pretty much a whole bunch of backups. Your starting quarterback out. Josh Dobbs comes in after being with the team for all of 5 minutes, comes in to start. I thought it was going to be an absolute blowout of epic proportions. But I step away from this game, 1, because it was close, and 2, because I have hope moving forward. Because after that loss to the Texans, I put my head in my hands and I thought, oh boy, this team is going to have a really tough time winning in Week 18 and winning the division as long as Malik Willis is under center. Josh Dobbs comes in last night and proved to me he's the guy, Week 18. He wasn't perfect, turned the ball over a couple of times, missed some throws. Some of those throws were on the receiver. Some of those throws were on him. Held on to the football a little bit too long. Took some sacks when he probably shouldn't have taken those sacks. But overall, Josh Dobbs was able to do what Malik Willis couldn't. 1, in the passing game, he was able to throw the football downfield, something that Malik Willis has struggled with all season long. 2, he was able to read the defense and was able to do it in a very calm, cool, collected way. He was able to sit back in the pocket, go through one progression, go through two progressions, go through three progressions, and make moves on the fly. Whereas when Malik Willis didn't get his first read, maybe not even a second read, it was almost like a sense of panic. He would throw the ball away, get an intentional grounding call on third down, would run it with his legs, and running was what was told to us to be his greatest strength. And while I see it, I didn't really see it executed to the level that we all were promised with Malik Willis. So overall, in his decisiveness and his throwing ability and his ability to read defenses, Josh Dobbs gave the Titans so much better of a chance to win last night, and I think better of a chance to win against the Jacksonville Jags in Week 18.
I think he checked a lot of the boxes that were not checked when Malik Willis was in the game. Was he able to move the ball down the field effectively? Check. Did he seem like he had a good command on the offense? Check. Did he display leadership that you need at that position? Check. Now, we can go through a lot of other checks as well. But I think those three right there, were huge for Joshua Dobbs. Listen, this is a guy that never, I don't think, not to my knowledge, he's never started a football game in his 6-year career. He's played in some games, but he hasn't started a game. And for him to come in here with only a week of preparation and go in and play the way that he played, have command of the huddle, be that leader, move that offense down the field, the way that he did, speaks volumes of him as a player and his ability to be able to absorb a playbook and then go out and implement what he's learned on the field. And even to a point where he's checking out of some things and he's improvising a little bit. And he another box he checked is he made the tough throws. He made the tough throws in traffic. He made the tough throws when people were on his back. That's one thing that I did like about Joshua last night is that he had people in his face, and he still delivered the ball. Now, it didn't get, it wasn't a completion every time, but he knew exactly where he was going with the ball. He knew who he wanted to throw it to. And even when Lawrence or Parsons was in his face, he still delivered the football. That's what you want to see from your quarterback. He got up after being hit and ran the next play, and a lot of times he ran it with some success. So he's checked all the boxes for me. Now what he needs to do, because now people have true film on him. Now what he needs to do is this week, he has a full week now. Now he can kind of absorb more of the playbook, get more comfortable, because he even said it. We were throwing routes out there that we didn't even throw in practice because of short week and everything else. Right. Well, now he's going to get an opportunity to throw those passes in practice. Just get more comfortable and familiar with who you're throwing it to. And I think it should be better. I'm not saying they're going to win, but his grasp of the offense will be a lot better than it was this week.
He sure makes you feel a whole heck of a lot better about winning. And while I was impressed enough about what Josh Dobbs did on the field last night, and again, it wasn't perfect. There were some missed throws. There was a bad interception and taking sacks when you weren't supposed to. But overall, I think that Josh Dobbs' performance and also the rest of the team's reaction to it just felt like this whole team was energized. It was also what we heard from Josh Dobbs after the game, too. I think we all know that Josh Dobbs is a smart guy. He's a freaking rocket scientist, which is something
literally.
Literally a rocket scientist. Something that they talked a whole heck of a lot about on the game broadcast last night, about him being a rocket scientist and having a 4.0 GPA. We know he's a smart guy.
Exactly.
But I think he also displayed his intelligence and his leadership in the post-game press conference last night as well. This was Josh Dobbs on his relationship with Malik Willis.
I know you had a relationship with Malik before you got here. What was he like through this process? Helping you or supporting you or however that went?
Definitely. He's been great. Just helping, especially a new quarterback, a guy that's been in there, being able to just talk about procedural things such as cadence, snap count, communication, code words to the guys, especially when we're going no huddle and up tempo. So he's been a great resource. So is Kevin Hogan in the room as well. We have a really good room. The guys really gel well, and it's been good to rely on those guys as well as Pat and Todd too to help with my preparation.
Go ahead.
You know what that tells me? It tells me that Malik knows what to do, knows the plays, knows everything, but it hasn't gotten to a point where what he knows is also displayed on the field. I think he knows it, but on the field it's just going so fast that he's still 2 seconds behind or 3 seconds behind. He knows what's going on. He knows what he needs to do. He knows the offense, the plays, where he should. But everything, the defense is so fast for him at this point. He's 2 seconds behind. So when he gets ready to actually make up his mind to throw it, it's too late now. Well, Joshua Dobbs is more in line with what you want to see from a quarterback. He sees it. He processes it very quickly and execute it right then and there. Malik is not at that point. Malik is like 2 or 3 seconds behind.
And I think even beyond that, like that clip showed me that Josh Dobbs has this mentality of, maybe not mentality, but decorum. He seems like such a Vrabel guy. He gave credit to everybody else in the room. Josh Dobbs has been in the league for 6 years. Malik Willis has been in the league for 6 months. And he's talking about Malik Willis like, yeah, he's really helped me a lot. He helped me along. He carried me along. And everybody else in the room, Kevin Hogan, Pat O'Hara, giving credit to everybody else. He was the one out there that was executing on the field, but he gave credit to everybody else. That to me sounded like such a Vrabel answer of credit to everybody, thanks to everybody. He's not going to offend anybody. He's going to give, thanks and gratitude to everybody else. And he was also asked about his first start as well. This was Josh Dobbs last night.
And finally getting that opportunity to start, did you have like those early anxious moments? And if so, what was it that you did to allow yourself to settle in? Because it seemed like that's what happened.
Yeah, I think for sure, when you haven't played a live snap of football since August, and then now it's December. That's a long time, especially when you're in a new team, new receivers, new timing, new offense. So, they're there. I'm human. They're going to be there, and in those moments, I just try to take a deep breath, stay present, stay in the moment, lock in on the game plan, and just the same thing I told the guys was just take it one play at a time. If you do that, you focus on that play, make it the best play possible, move on to the next one, then you won't get overwhelmed by the moment. So there's a lot of guys out there, not just me, making their first starts or first time back on the field in a long time, and just watching how the guys responded to adversity, responded with success. It was great to see, and it definitely was a building opportunity for us.
Did him and Ryan Tannehill get the same script?
The same media training?
Yeah, the same media, because they both sound exactly alike. I mean, both of them, how they describe, the team or the process, they sound alike. Why? Because they're veteran quarterbacks. They understand it. They've been through it. They know everything is not going to be roses out there. There's going to be situations where we have to persevere through. Things may not work the way we want them to work, but that doesn't mean we're not going to win the game. Let's just get up, move on, go to the next play. He and Ryan Tannehill, because of them being veterans and they understand it, they both sound the same. It's like they both had the same script, which is a good thing for the Titans because you got somebody in there that you feel comfortable with, that you can that Downey can give the playbook to and say, okay, here, this is the playbook, learn it, and we're going to run whatever you feel comfortable with running. And we may even run some things that you may not have, that we may not have ran, consistently in practice, but we feel confident enough in you that you can do it.
Can you even consider Josh Dobbs a veteran quarterback?
He's a veteran. He's been in this league 6 years. I know he hadn't played a lot, but being in that Pittsburgh Steelers organization, and they're one of the, if not the best organization in the National Football League when you're talking about just the history of the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And being there with Mike Tomlin and some of them other coaches, I'm pretty sure playing alongside Ben Roethlisberger taught him a lot, how to prepare, what to look for. Ben is going to be a Hall of Fame guy. So there's something you would have learned that has helped you moving forward from Ben Roethlisberger. So, I just think it's been organizations that he's been.
And that too, he's completed 10 passes before he did last
he hadn't
night.
had much experience.
But he sounds like a quarterback. He sounds like the starting quarterback who has started for 2 different franchises and has been in the league for almost 15 years. I think that Josh Dobbs brings a certain sense of yes, experience, but also leadership. He mentioned in that clip, he was like, that's what I was telling the guys. Just take it one play at a time. That's coming from a quarterback that's completed 10 passes in the last 6 years.
But he didn't look like it.
But he didn't look like it, and he was able to bring a sense of leadership to everybody else offensively. Hey, guys, one play at a time. He has such limited experience in the league, but he brings that kind of sense of everybody else offensively is like, hey, we got to rally around Josh. He says take it one play at a time. Calm down. Everybody sit back. Take it slow. And they followed suit. And that's the kind of veteran presence and leadership presence. And, you take all of his physical abilities aside and his physical abilities that he brings to the game that Malik Willis just can't. I think he brings that intangible element of leadership and that everyone falls behind him and feels confident behind him that Malik Willis just hasn't been able to bring to this team quite yet.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to, and time will tell whether he will be able to do it or not. But at this point right now, he can't. Joshua can. So Joshua's the quarterback.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. It's your day. We're right back into your phones coming up next. Chase, Willie, and D Mace is presented by Hair Club. And I love Hair Club. Hair Club, love your hair, live your life, creating custom hair loss solutions for men and women.
The sports talk doesn't end on Friday. Join Michelle Knezovic and Junie Riddle for Michelle and Junie.
Have they truly been tested yet?
I really want this to be a good game.
Michelle and Junie, every Saturday morning at 9. Presented by Superbook Sports and the Nashville Jam Company.
I think Junie and I are going to go hit breakfast/brunch there after the show.
On 102.5 and 106.3, The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Can you beat Vegas this football season? Hey, what's up? It's Chase. Superbook Sports gives you the chance every week to go head-to-head with the best odds makers in Las Vegas. There's no fancy computer algorithms. There's no guys across the pond setting the lines for American sports. It's just the best team of odds makers in the business, and they're right there on the ground behind the counter at the Superbook in Las Vegas. It's such a cool process because even though it's an app, even though it uses new technology, it's the same principles that odds makers have been using for a very long time. Plus, Superbook features some of the best odds boosts and promo bets anywhere, which I love that. Whether it's a prop or a bet itself, they have those. So download the Superbook Sports app or visit superbook.com to start your battle against Vegas right now. It's very simple to download that app, deposit your money, and start betting. Just do it like I did. It's fantastic. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789.
If you own a house, you've got a huge asset, and everyone's looking at it. With Wall Street investors buying up homes in Nashville and renting them out like never before, you have to wonder, what do they see in your big asset that you don't? The truth is, if you sell your home instead of renting it, you can kiss your asset goodbye. Especially with today's higher interest rates, the best way to save your asset is to rent it out instead. Go to renterswarehouse.com to book your free home rental price analysis today. Or call 615-398-9550. Renters Warehouse. You can't buy happiness, but you can rent it.
Oil Fire Whiskey. You will like it. She will love it. It's dangerously seductive.
You look at yourself in the mirror every day and you can't deny it anymore. Your hair is not as thick as it used to be, and it's making you feel self-conscious. Hair Club is here to save the day. For 45 years, Hair Club has helped more than 500,000 clients love their hair and feel confident again. No matter what stage of hair loss, they can help. Hair Club can customize a solution just for you. For a limited time, get 10% off when you book a free consultation today at hairclub.com/chase.
Joe Rexrode here for OrderGreen.com. Listen, to do the job I do, got to stay on the move at all times. Lots of travel, early mornings. Sometimes it can catch up with you, and when it does, I always enjoy natural and enjoyable ways to de-stress my mind and body. That's why I use a high-quality, wide selection of THC and CBD products from OrderGreen.com. It's not just me. Lots of my friends are on the bandwagon here, including a sick family friend of ours who has gotten great benefits. OrderGreen.com. You subscribe, you save 25% off shipments of gummies, or use promo code JOE20 for 20% off your first purchase. OrderGreen.com.
Here's to Prilosec OTC. Without Prilosec, I wouldn't be able to enjoy all this yummy holiday food. Speaking of, whoever made that apple pie, delicious. I just take one pill each morning and zero heartburn all day. So cheers to Prilosec OTC. Ooh, are those jalapeno poppers?
Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid that can cause heartburn, so you can enjoy the holidays. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
It's on. It's happening. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter.
Get out of the way. I'm watching the game.
Presented by the law offices of Amanda Gentry.
I'm ready to step this up a notch.
You're listening to Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, and on the Game Nashville app.
Building opportunity.
Earning tide-wise, and that in 10 days you can change the result?
Well, we control our own destiny, and every single person in the locker room understands that. We go out, play a good game. We play how we know how to play football. We don't hurt ourselves. We go out, play good, clean football in Jacksonville next Sunday, whenever the game is, and we come out with a win. Then we're in the playoffs, and we're rolling from there. So we control our own destiny. Guys understand that. Obviously, every time you step on the field, you expect to win and you want to win. So it's tough when that you don't get the job done. So now we'll go through our process. We'll review the film, review the tape. We have a longer week for preparation for the Jacksonville game, and we control our own destiny. We go out there, we play the football we know we can, then we're in the playoffs and AFC South champs.
There you go, Josh Dobbs. We control our own destiny. Sounding like he's been a starting quarterback for 15 years in this league. I mean, he's just up at the podium sounding like a true vet. I love what I heard from Josh Dobbs after the game. I think he said all the right things. He did exactly what the Titans want him to do, what any coaching staff would want you to do. Don't make yourself the story. Don't say anything offensive. Be boring, to your point, D Mace. But right to your phones as promised. Bob is up next on Josh Dobbs. What's up, Bob?
Hey, y'all. D Mace, I got a question for you. Since, you played for a couple of different teams, and, there's a big bond between players even when you don't play for that team anymore. Do you think there's any chance Roethlisberger texted or called Dobbs last night and tell him good job?
I don't know, but I'm sure if they were, if they are close friends and if they communicate, I'm pretty sure he did. Knowing that this is Joshua's first NFL start. I mean, why wouldn't you? If if I had been in a league with younger guys and they got their first starts and we were great friends inside of if it was one of my receivers inside the receiver room and he got his first start at another team, I'm texting him, hey, good luck tonight, man. And so I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if Roethlisberger did that. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. No. But he was under him for a couple of years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
CC texts into the text line, phone answered by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, says, I believe you guys either had unrealistic expectations regarding Malik Willis or are being unfair. All things being equal, which I realize they aren't in this case, if Dobbs and Willis were both in their rookie year in the NFL, I would still expect for Dobbs to have an advantage because he comes from an SEC school where he played against NFL caliber talent most weekends. How many defenses do you think Willis faced at Liberty with the same talent? Honestly, I don't care. Like CC, the texter says you're being unfair. Well, life's not fair. The NFL isn't fair. I don't care if you went to Alabama, and I don't care if you went to Buttcrack State University.
Yeah,
If you're
that's a good state university.
Yeah, it's a really good team. Yeah, they're playing Bowling Green in the Beef O'Brady Bowl tonight. But, I mean, it's, if you're drafted to a team or if you're brought into a team to do your job, you're expected to do your job. I don't care where you went to college. And I don't care if it's unfair that Josh Dobbs went to Tennessee and Malik Willis went to Liberty. I really don't care. If you give this team the best opportunity to win, then you should play. If you have more experience reading defenses and you're better at reading defenses, then you should play that role. If you're better, you get the starting gig. I don't really care if I'm being unfair. Life's not fair. The NFL's not fair.
Yeah, well, things are not fair in any aspect of life or job or even sometimes family. Things are not fair. Malik did start off at Auburn, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
He chose to so he can play. He chose to leave Liberty, and that was what was best for him. And he played well enough to be drafted in the third round by the Tennessee Titans. Now, I don't think at least you, myself, Willie, Jared, I don't think we had any unrealistic expectations of Malik Willis. I mean, I think we, our expectations varied, but they were not like, oh, he needs to be the starting quarterback or, oh, he's definitely the backup.
No.
Our thing was, and listen, it's going to take him a while to learn this game. You know, that's just the way it is. And it may take him even longer considering where he came from, Liberty, and how they ran their offenses. Nothing like an NFL offense. So I don't think we had these lofty expectations, and I don't think we're being unfair to him now.
No.
I don't think we've, at least I'm going to say me. I've never been unfair to any player that I've covered on this radio show, because either I'm only saying what I see from a player. If he changes it, then I will change how I view the player. That's just the way it is. Right now, Malik Willis is not ready. If he shows me something different, then my opinion of him will change. You know, but at this juncture of his early career, very infant career, he's not ready to be on a football field at all, conducting or running an offense. He's just not ready.
And honestly, that was my expectation for Malik Willis. In training camp, I was begging John Robinson and Mike Vrabel to go out and find another backup quarterback. Because looking at what Malik did in training camp and going into training camp knowing Malik's background, I thought he's going to be a project. He is going to take some time. He's going to take some refining, which is fine. You drafted him in the 3rd round. If you find your future quarterback in the 3rd round, great. Good job, John Robinson. And if you don't, if he doesn't end up being a quarterback in this league, either starting or backup, fine. It was a 3rd round that you took a flyer on and you took an experiment. My expectation for Malik Willis was that he was not going to be very good and he was not going to be ready to play. That was my expectation.
Exactly.
Let's go back to your phones. Weston is up next. What's up, Weston?
Yeah, thanks, Caroline, and thanks, Derek. Derek, this question is kind of for you, real quick. If Josh Dobbs had a healthy Tennessee Titans team and had a healthy offense with an O-line that is capable of protecting him like Dallas did for Dak Prescott, could you see him potentially being the starter of this team, especially seeing how well he played with basically 3rd and 4th string guys?
Thank you, Weston. Appreciate it. If this team's healthy, he is the starting quarterback moving forward for this season. But I still believe that this is Ryan's team because what he has done over the 5 years, 6 years he's been here, he's been damn good for this team. Now, listen, he's made some mistakes. I get that, and he cost them the Cincinnati game. I understand that. But his record as a starting quarterback with the Tennessee Titans is damn good. Joshua Dobbs, even if everybody's healthy, I think he's the quarterback for the remainder of the season and potentially into the playoffs. But I don't think that Ryan Tannehill has done anything to lose his job. You know, he's played under the same circumstances. Now, if he was playing in front of a healthy offensive line with Derrick Henry back as healthy, we've seen what he can do. You know, I think they may need to go another direction with the offensive coordinator, but that's just me.
You and just about everybody else in this city, D Mace.
Yeah, because it's just so.
It's bad.
It's. I'm not even talking about the bad. It's just so inconsistent. You know, with things that are called and things that are not. How the offense plays, how things flows. You know what they do in the second half compared to the first half. It's just so inconsistent. You need a play caller that is consistent. And I get it. You need your players to be on the field too. I'm healthy, but I've seen what he can do with a healthy team, and it still isn't good enough, I don't think.
And I think, too, a lot of people have been frustrated. A lot of people who want to see more from Malik. And if you do, I don't blame you. I mean, that's totally your right, and it's totally your opinion. But a lot of people are frustrated that Todd Downing called plays that he wouldn't have called for Malik Willis. Some of the rollouts, some of the pass plays. So do you think that Todd Downing almost did Malik Willis a disservice with the play calling that he didn't with Josh Dobbs? I don't necessarily believe that.
They may have. But then again, it all goes back to how much can we realistically put on the plate of a rookie.
And of a rookie that has a lot of refining
to do.
That has
exactly. It's not like he come from this, university where they produce quarterbacks or their offenses.
It's not Bryce Young.
He's come from a situation where, it was made easy for him for whatever reason. Things were a little bit easier for him in a Liberty offense. Now, it's going to be harder in the NFL. I know that. But that wasn't Hugh Freeze's responsibility to get, Malik Willis prepared and ready for the NFL. His responsibility was to win games at Liberty.
And also, how many Hugh Freeze developed quarterbacks have you seen just making splashes in the NFL?
I can't name any. There might be, but I can't think of any offhand.
No. No. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. It's your day, so we'll get back into your phones, your calls, and your texts. Plus, I want to talk about this. The Titans have yet to make up, or at least publicly have yet to say that they've made up their mind for next week. Have they made up their mind about next season? We'll get into that coming up next. Chase, Willie, and D Mace, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Saturday.
The shot and the score! Predators get on the board first.
Your Nashville Predators continue their road trip against the Vegas Golden Knights. Pre-game at 1. Face-off at 2 on your home for Smashville. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And the Game Nashville app.
Give the gift of luxury this holiday season. Nothing is more elegant than a trip to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Gift cards from Bob's Steakhouse or Mocara Day Spa make wonderful gifts for any occasion, especially during the holidays. The foodie in your life will enjoy an evening of fine dining from the award-winning Bob's Steakhouse. Bob's Steakhouse specializes in serving big, flavorful steaks next to Texas-sized portions of delicious sides. The special person in your life will be comforted with the gift of relaxation and rejuvenation when they receive a gift card to Mocara Day Spa. Let the spoiling begin with a soothing facial, hot stone massage, body treatment, salon service, or mani-pedi. Bob's Steakhouse and Mocara Day Spa in the luxurious Omni Nashville Hotel. Purchase your gift cards today.
The choice is yours, Wednesdays at 8:45. Brought to you by Jarrett Companies. Now hiring experienced sprinkler experts. Go to jarrettfire.com. JARRETT fire.com. Jarrett Companies, a company above and beyond industry standards.
Hal Gill here for my friends at Dunkin'. Everyone celebrates the holidays in their own special way, but you go twice as hard as everyone else. So does Dunkin', which is why they've created 2 espresso-rich holiday signature lattes. The minty, cocoa-dusted peppermint mocha and creamy cinnamon sugary toasted white chocolate lattes are handcrafted with bold espresso and topped with whipped cream to help you do the most this year. So swing by the newly remodeled Dunkin' on Bradley Parkway in Nashville or the new Dunkin' in Mount Juliet and grab one today on the double.
Hey Nashville, TJ Anderson here. With real estate listings, you have to read between the lines, like trendy, so are man buns, or great potential, just like your ex. Must see inside, yeah, because it's a dump outside. My team at TJ Anderson Homes at Benchmark Realty is ready to help both home buyers and sellers decode the market. Oh, and if it says open floor plan, the doors are sold separately. Google TJ Anderson Homes, read our reviews, and see why we are referred for a reason. TJ Anderson Homes at Benchmark Realty, 615-432-2919.
When it comes to procuring my adult beverages for the big games, I saddle up and head to Red Spirits and Wine. Red's Titanic selection of beer, wine, distilled spirits, and cigars is second to none. And Red's Cracker Jack crew always delivers a winning combination of service and value. There's no two ways about it. Red is top of the range. Open 7 days a week at Highway 70 South in Bellevue. And check us out at redspirits.com.
Looking for a career with purpose or have that passion for youth development? Boys and Girls Clubs of Middle Tennessee provides a safe place where youth gain the tools to learn, lead, and reach their full potential. And that starts with you, offering competitive pay and free after-school care for employees. Learn more at bgcmt.org.
The Nashville Jam Company is already a super popular weekend breakfast and brunch destination. But with summer over, it's time to put the beach body away for a while. So for fall, they've expanded their offerings and added what they call the Meat and Three menu. Yeah, cool weather and Southern comfort food go hand in hand. And the stars of this show are the hefty meatloaf, Southern fried catfish, slow-cooked pot roast, fried chicken, Salisbury steak, and a slew of other rib, stick, and delicacies. And they have salads, too, if you're into that kind of thing. Come see the new menu Monday through Friday from 10:30 till 2.
Can't get enough Vanderbilt basketball?
Intercepted right all by himself for a one-hand flush.
Your home for the Commodores is 93.3 Classic Hits.
Put it up. It's good. Count it.
Join Coach Jerry Stackhouse and his team on their journey through the SEC.
Pulls a trigger. Yes, from three.
Check out Vandy Hoops on 93.3 Classic Hits and the Classic Hits app.
Hey Nashville, this is Laura Rutledge from the SEC Network, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
With the production and the decisiveness we saw last night, what makes the decision tough?
I just want to make sure that we're, that every decision that we make, we want to try to put some thought into and make sure that it's thought out, and, we'll see what goes after this weekend.
There you go. That was Mike Vrabel. And it's a tough decision about who is going to be the starting quarterback against the Jags in Week 18. And I think that is such a ridiculous thing for Mike Vrabel to say. It's a tough decision. I understand the idea of, wanting to throw the Jags off their game and giving them an opportunity or having to prepare for both quarterbacks. But really, does either quarterback make the Jags shake in their boots? I think you just have to come out and say, Josh Dobbs is your starting quarterback, squash any controversy, squash any discussion, squash any conversations that could be swirling around that building that distract this team from Week 18 and the most important game on this team schedule.
Yeah, him, again, I just think it's all a, cat and mouse game. Chess game, however you want to play it or whatever you want to call it. I think that's what Vrabel is doing, because it's like, listen, I don't have to. The league I have to announce my starting quarterback when I think that Friday before game, something like that, or Saturday before game, or even up to game time. So why do I feel the need to tell everybody who my starting quarterback is? If you've been watching, you know who to start. Everybody in the building knows who the starting quarterback is.
So why not just come out and say it?
He's just not going to say it. At least he wasn't going to say it last night after the victory, and he wasn't going to say it this morning. He's going to give himself through the weekend, and if anything, I think he will come out Monday or Tuesday and tell you who his starting quarterback is. I think he truly wants to see a little bit more from Joshua Dobbs, from the standpoint of having a full week of him just learning more of the playbook, him feeling more comfortable with some things.
But even having a couple of days, Josh Dobbs was the better quarterback.
Yeah, you're right. And, again, you think he should be starting quarterback? I think he should be the starting quarterback. How many people are there in Nashville? Close to 1 million.
Enough.
They believe he should be the starting quarterback. Hell, those guys in that locker room, those 53 men, including Malik Willis, if he's being honest with himself, which I'm sure he is, thinks that what I saw last night should make him the starting quarterback moving forward. Past this game, if we win it, he should be the starting quarterback. But Vrabel's not going to give that. He's not going to give it away, even though it's like, it's common sense, like everybody knows. It's like this unkept secret. But he's going to keep it in his pocket until he feels it's the right time to tell everybody.
I just think I don't understand what good that does for the team.
Yeah.
I don't understand, because when Mike Vrabel comes out and says we want to eliminate distractions, we're going to focus on the game, so on and so forth, I think that just coming out and saying, hey, Josh Dobbs is going to be our starting quarterback, how does that hurt the team?
It's not a distraction to them, because what Vrabel's going to do, or what he's probably already done and will do, is go in that meeting room and say, Joshua Dobbs is our starting quarterback. He's going to tell the guys, but he's also going to say, that's between this team. Nobody else. This is between us.
Why does it have to be a Fort Knox locked up
That's
secret?
just the way. That's just the way NFL teams are.
Is it how NFL teams are?
Yeah, a lot of NFL teams. I mean, if they don't want it to get out, it won't get out. If they want it to get out, it will get out.
It's the same thing of Mike Vrabel not wanting to name that Shane Bowen was the defensive play caller.
Exactly.
Why do you feel the need to keep that a secret? I don't understand it. It is so obvious
I know.
that Josh Dobbs gives you the better chance to win.
Yeah.
So what are these mind games that Mike Vrabel is trying to play with the Jags or with the media? Just come out and say it. Be forefront. Say, we're going to focus on Josh Dobbs for the rest of the week. We're going to develop him, and he's going to be our starter on Sunday because we believe that he gives us the best opportunity to win. We've seen great things from Malik, whatever he wants to say. We've seen great things from Malik. We're going to let him develop a little bit more, hold a clipboard, learn from Josh, learn from Ryan, and moving forward, we'll evaluate from there. But for right now, Josh Dobbs gives us the best opportunity to win.
Well, yes, he does.
And if he doesn't believe that, then I have no faith in this team.
And he, in a roundabout way, not exactly in those words, I'm sure he has or will tell his ball club, this is our starting quarterback. It doesn't become a distraction anymore. If you ask Kevin Byard after Vrabel just said, hey, listen, guys, Dobbs is the quarterback. This stays in this room for whatever purposes, he may say, for the purposes of not letting Jacksonville know. Then the guys they're gonna be like, all right, we cool with it, coach. Then they're gonna walk out that room, and Paul or Jared or Wyatt or Teresa's gonna ask one of those guys, hey, who's gonna be the starting quarterback? And they're gonna say, hey, listen, we don't know. So it's up to Coach Vrabes who the starting quarterback is. And then they're going to go out on the field, and when everybody leaves...
And take first-team reps with Josh Dobbs.
Exactly. And everybody knows.
It just feels so unnecessary of a secret to keep. Josh Dobbs
is the best unkept secret out there.
After being on this team for a total of 30 seconds, can go out there and play better than Malik has ever shown us he can play. You're going to say, it's a really tough decision. Who's going to be our quarterback? Oh, save it, Mike. We'll get back. We'll get to one quick phone call. Adam is up next. What's up, Adam?
Well, as soon as he completed the one pass down the field, I'm like, okay, and Josh, we trust. Like, if you don't think Josh Dobbs is sitting here to save this team, you are not a good Tennessean. This is everything that I wanted last night happened. We didn't have to win that game for me to get exactly what I wanted, which was an adult playing quarterback. And Malik is not there yet. I like him. He's nice. If he wasn't nice, he would already be cut. Like, he's a nice guy. We get that. He's young. But Josh, man, he looked polished. Like, as a pro, his timing was good. He made some ugly plays too, but like he rolled out of the pocket nice. Like, he did everything nice outside the pocket. Malik just stands back in the pocket. He almost play action passes and takes hits. Josh knows not to do that. So I thought it was a beautiful game by him.
Yeah, thanks for your call, Adam. I'm not going to go as far as to say that Josh Dobbs is going to save this team. Josh Dobbs gives you a better opportunity to win. I'm not going to say that Malik Willis isn't an adult. Malik Willis is an adult. But he, like to Adam's point, he just has some learning and growing to do.
He has a lot of it.
Josh Dobbs can do what Malik Willis can't. Now, will Malik Willis learn how to do those things? We'll see. But for right now, he can't.
Exactly.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll get back into your calls, your texts on this. But coming up next, we'll pick some games of the weekend. It is Chase, Willie, and D Mace, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. And hey, be caller 3 now to get an opportunity to chance to win a pair of tickets to see Bush at the Ryman Auditorium on Monday, February 20th. That is caller 3 now.
Your home for the MTSU Blue Raiders is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Every touchdown.
Yes, touchdown.
Every three.
Free ball, yes, sir.
It all lives here.
Middle Tennessee.
You can also hear the Blue Raiders in the Borough on 97.5. Middle Tennessee Athletics on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Center.
I'm Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus. A warm day ahead of us. Temperatures easily in the low to middle 60s later on this afternoon. Clouds increase throughout the day and a chance for a few scattered showers this afternoon through this evening. All of that rain wraps up by the middle of your New Year's Eve.
Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Oil Fire Whiskey. You will like it. She will love it. It's dangerously seductive.
Want to kick off the new year without any credit card debt? If that sounds good to you, you can do it with Loan Pronto's Express Equity line of credit. Wipe out all those credit card bills right now. Hey, Willie Donic here. Rates are down, and it's a great move to get on more solid financial footing for the new year. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a portion of the equity you have and enjoy a rate that's a whole lot less than what the banks charge on credit cards. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity credit line, you can close in 7 to 10 days. You can access up to 95% of your home's equity. Use that money to pay off those high-interest credit card loans of any type. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, whatever. Consolidate everything into one easy payment. Even if you did a whole total refi last year, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program and keep your main loan intact. Call Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Harman Energy is now hiring drivers for their Nashville team. Harman Energy is Tennessee's petroleum solution for major industries. Right now, they're offering competitive compensation. Fuel tank wagon drivers start at $26 an hour. Fuel transport drivers, $29 an hour. Plus, there's a $4,000 sign-on bonus for CDL drivers. Top quality benefits and a great place to work, Harman Energy employees provide totally outrageous customer service. Come be an employee owner with the Harman team. Apply now at harmanenergy.com.
The Nashville Sheriff is hiring correctional officers. Earn $52,500 after paid training and probation. Positions are available immediately. You must be 21 and over with a high school diploma or GED. Come join our family. That's $52,500 with great benefits. Apply now at sheriff.nashville.gov/apply or call 615-862-8170. Earn $52,500. Stop searching. Apply now. The Nashville Sheriff.
Hey, folks, it's Joe Rexroth for FanDuel Sportsbook. You know, one of the things I love about betting the NFL, finding new players or game props I like. FanDuel, of course, my personal sportsbook. And one thing that's cool about FanDuel is you can combine these props with other bets in the same game to score a bigger payout. If I was looking at, how about a little NFC Norris Sunday game, Bears-Lions. I tell you what, Justin Fields anytime touchdown. I actually do like the Lions in this game. And I would also go Amon St. Brown with an anytime touchdown. That's what I would do with that one. Do whatever you want to do. Just know with FanDuel, it's easy to use. That's very important to me. You got live betting with odds that change during the game. Safe, secure, you get paid fast. There's no feel like nail in the same game parlay. Lock it in today on FanDuel. If you're new, sign up promo code Joe12 for a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. Promo code Joe12. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner in the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First on their women who only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now available. Free bets expire 14 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 800-8899-789.
Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House invites you to join them for this year's college football bowl games and playoff action. Georgia, Michigan, TCU, or Ohio State, who will be the last one standing? Boomba's has countless big screen TVs and the biggest video wall in Nashville at their East Nashville location. So watch it all go down and enjoy their 2-time award-winning Best Pizza in America, featured on the Food Network and 100% crafted for you. Wash it all down with their award-winning happy hour with $2 Boom Brews and select domestic pints. Boomba's Craft Pizza and Tap House in East Nashville, 1003 Russell Street, Pizza, Beer, Sports. See you there, Nashville.
Robbie Stanley.
To avoid non-contact injuries and not repeat last year,
Joe Rexroth.
Just wait until next year's national TV schedule comes out.
Robbie and Rexroth. Mornings from 6 to 10 on Nashville's best sports talk. ESPN 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, and on the Game Nashville app. This is Chase, Willie, and D Mace on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, and on the Game Nashville app.
Hey, check out Nashville's best deals and get half-off gift cards for Old School Pizza, Nashville B-Cycle, and more. Visit theGameNashville.com/deals now while supplies last. We've got some college football playoff games this weekend. The Vols take the field against Clemson in the Orange Bowl tonight, plus a bunch of NFL games that have high stakes for the playoffs. So let's pick those games. Nick, what you got for us?
All right, you know what that music means. We got some big games coming up. First one is the Peach Bowl. So we got Ohio State and Georgia. And The Bulldogs are favored by 6.5 points. So who do you guys like for this game?
I just think Georgia's too strong. Georgia, to me, has proven they're the best team in the country. I thought that matchup versus UT started to show it to me, and then, subsequently victories after that, what they did to LSU in the SEC championship game. This team is clicking on all levels. I mean, they are, and they got the big fella back in the middle, Carter. I mean, it's going to be hard to be he is, man. It's going to be hard to beat him. I'm going with the Dogs.
Yeah, I'm going to take Georgia minus 6.5 too. And I'll reiterate everything that D Mace said, and I'll also add that Ohio State, in their one opportunity to play one of the top teams in the country at home, the biggest game on their schedule every single year against Michigan, and they get embarrassed on their home turf, and Michigan was without Blake Corum, their best player.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ohio State got exposed against Michigan. I think that Georgia will win the national championship yet again. I think Georgia's just that good. I'll take Georgia minus 6.5. I don't think it's going to be close.
Okay, and now we head over to TCU and Michigan. Michigan's favored by 7.5 points, and I already know where Derek might be going after silly underdog picks yesterday. But what do you guys think of this Fiesta Bowl matchup?
I might be getting cute with it. I'm going to take TCU to cover the spread. I do think Michigan ultimately wins this game. I think we're going to end up with a Georgia-Michigan national championship. But if TCU has shown me anything, it's that they've got fight in them. And every single week when I counted TCU out, I thought, no way they beat Texas. They go on the road, they beat Texas. A tough conference game for them against Kansas State, but I think that TCU is able to at least keep it closer than a touchdown.
There's no way, and you know what, HE double hockey sticks, that I am ever, and I repeat, ever pick a Michigan team. I don't care if it's badminton, hockey, golf, tennis, checkers, whatever you play and make a sport at Michigan, I will never pick you. And I'm not picking you this time. I hope TCU puts up 100 points on Michigan. But seriously, like Carolyn said, everyone was waiting for that shoe to drop with TCU during the regular season, and it never did. They just continued to play week after week after week. Even when they were down, they managed to come back and win games. Again, they lost to Kansas State, a close game, a tough game, but I just don't think that TCU is ready to quit. I don't think they're ready to be eliminated from the college football playoffs. I think they're going to find a way to win the game again.
All right. This only means one thing. We have the Orange Bowl, and it is very orange. If you guys missed who's playing in this game, Clemson and Tennessee. Tennessee is a 6-point dog in this matchup. Who do you guys got?
D Mace?
Wow, boy. No starting quarterback. Well, at least not the ball starting quarterback. Obviously, they have Milton in instead of Hooker. I don't know. This is a hard one for me to pick because I think both teams. Syracuse got better as the year. I mean, not Syracuse, but that's the other orange team. Yeah, but Clemson got better as the year went on. They switched their quarterbacks eventually. Looked good for them. UT started to sputter a little bit at the end, but we know why. The quarterback got hurt toward the end there against South Carolina. But they dropped 2 games to me that they should have won. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, as much as I want to pick UT, and I've supported them the whole season, I just think that Clemson, at this point, because Hendon Hooker is not playing, I think Clemson wins this game. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Clemson wins.
I think that Tennessee gets the win here. I do. I mean, neither of these teams have their starting quarterbacks. DJ Uiagalelei's transferred, and of course, Hendon Hooker and going to the NFL draft, and obviously the injury as well. This isn't Joe Milton's first rodeo. Mm-hmm. You know, Joe Milton has been a starting quarterback for Tennessee before. He just lost the job. Nothing that Clemson has done this season has really impressed me. Tennessee this season has, I think, exceeded every single expectation that I could have set for this team, short of losing to South Carolina and missing the college football playoff. I think this Tennessee team is bringing back a whole heck of a lot of talent. And even without Hendon Hooker, I think they're going to be able to at least keep it close against Clemson. But I do think that Tennessee ultimately gets the win. So I'll take Tennessee to cover the 5.5.
But you just can't trust Milton. He might throw it to Clemson 2 or 3 times. His accuracy is just not there. That's why.
He might throw
strong
it to,
arm
to Nashville. From
exactly.
That ball
You're
could
right.
soar for miles. But the Tennessee defense doesn't really necessarily thrill me. But I do think that, after losing to South Carolina and then coming back in Tennessee being able to have a statement win over Vanderbilt, I think this Tennessee team wants to go out on a high note, especially considering how impressive their season truly was. But before we wrap up, before I hand the baton to Jared Stillman, I've been filling in for Chase the past few weeks on a day-to-day basis. And if you missed the announcement yesterday, it will be an official move. Caroline, Willie, and D Mace will debut on Monday.
Absolutely.
To start off the new year.
CWD.
It's still a CWD.
Exactly.
Just a different C. So I've had such a blast filling in with you and with Willie and with Nick. I am so incredibly excited to make the move to middays. So you can find us on 11 o'clock on Monday to start the new year. I'm pumped, D Mace.
Well, I'm glad to have you in that seat. I'm driving the bus, and it's going to be great. It was great. It's going to continue to be great. And like I said yesterday, and I've told you this personally, I love your energy. I love what you bring to the show, and we're just going to continue and build on it. And quickly before we go, too, I want to say congratulations to Michelle as well.
Yes.
And what she's going to be doing with Chase in their show. And then I want to give a shout out to my good friend Ed Reed, who's now the head coach at Bethune-Cookman. So congratulations to him, and I wish him nothing but success. He's a good friend of mine.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Caroline, Willie, D Mace back on Monday morning at 11 a.m. Stillman & Company is up next.
We out.